I heard that Prince York is on the line. I want to ask Prince York. Prince York, on the last show, you said the Sumerians are our ancestors. Did you say that?
The Sumerians are, well, according to the Hebrews. According to the Hebrew people, Sumerians would be their relatives. If they're claiming, anybody who's claiming Abraham's lineage, then yeah, that would be their ancestors.
Okay.
As far as that being our ancestors, nah. As you know we don't fuck with that shit. But I'm saying as far as Hebrews, if the Hebrews want to claim the lineage of Abraham, and Abraham being from Chaldea, which is Sumeria, then that means he's claiming Sumerians. And, you know, we can go deeper into the races of the Sumerians, the biology of Sumerians, and we'll start to see that the Sumerians and the Hebrew Israelites lead you back to the Caucasian race, which is the Canaanites. So we know that, but I'm saying, I'm talking about them, if that's what they claim. Now, no, we go beyond that. We older than that. That's 6,000 years. Yes.
No, I just misunderstood because you used the word ancestors, so I didn't connect it up.
I use the term ancestors because what the brother was trying to do was trying to reform the Hebrew Israelite school and fuse it with science and try to make it look like, oh, we're not a religion. We deal with our, culture, our history, our ancestors. So I said, okay, well, in that case, then the Hebrews' ancestors would be what? Going prior to Adam and Eve, going into all that. You're going into the Adamites, you're going to the Canaanites, you're going into the Edomites. You know what I mean? It's a whole build that you can just go into and reign in them. Okay, can you hear me now? Like I said, Polight is a fucking cracker. Polight is a habitual liar. And Polight likes to reform conversation because people in the conscious community don't understand Nuwaubian culture. So if you don't understand Nuwaubian culture and you're dealing with a former Nuwaubian or a Nuwaubian who's presenting themselves to the world, they'll fabricate lies on what we do and make it look like it was something special towards you. For example, when Polight, and I tried not to address it, like I told you, Sinetta, but you were there. I was sitting next to you today. I told you I thought Polight done. You remember I told you that? I told you, I was sitting next to you. He was on live stream, and I said, yo, Polight is done. I'm not done. After he said that, the different stuff he was saying about moving out the black community, calling black people dogs, talking about the rappers have converted him, different stuff like that. I said he's through. As far as me, he's through. I said the day we were sitting in front of each other, I was told I was being merciful to the bullshit. Being merciful and saying, okay, the brothers out here, he's doing this thing, let me show some form of respect. But at the same time, now if you're disrespecting and you show, okay, you crossed that line, that's why I said Polight is a cracker. He's the equivalent. Based on the things that he was saying, people got to go do the research for themselves and go check out that video where he's talking with Sinetta about his views of the black community. And it's very disrespectful. It's extremely disrespectful. So Polight is a cracker. But as far as my intellectual level compared to his intellectual level, Polight is a student. And he fabricates things. He'll say, well, at one time, Dr. York had me leading the lodge. This nigga was never leading the lodge. Ever. And even in D.C., when you see a picture of him holding a mic, he had fucking forced his way up there. He wouldn't live put him on the stand. The nigga jumped up there. Oh, Dr. York named my daughter. Everybody who wants their child to have a Nuwaubic name to have the opportunity in the nation to ask, hey, Dr. York, what's a good name for my kid? Don't try to fabricate that shit like Dr. York did some special shit to you or named you or made you. Nigga, Polight was not shit in the Nuwaubic nation but another teacher. And he tries to flex like he is. That nigga's trying to fuck like he's Prince York. I'm Prince York, nigga. I'm the best fucking teacher. And I was so Polight face to face if it comes to that. And we said, well, where all this anger come from in Prince York towards Brother Polight? The anger comes from the amount of disrespect. When you get on Black TV and you have the opportunity to rep your master teacher and you say, every other time, Dr. York, you're deity, but now you're on public forum to rep the master teacher knowing that he's in prison and you don't do it. Then on top of that, then you come back on the Breakfast Club, you don't do it. Then you don't even rep Sinetta TV. Your own promoter. These are the people who's putting you out there. So I see that. Then I see how the marketing scheme, how he uses the Black Panther Party for publicity. He uses the new Black Panther Party because they're out and on the scene to be on publicity. He's a fucking con artist, bro. And he's playing games. Niggas wasn't fucking with him in the Nuwaubian nation. He tried to make it like it's some doctrine shit. But then I asked him, I said, okay, what's the questions that you have? I'll answer the questions that you don't have. That you have, you say you don't understand. You don't want to ask me a questions on public forum. You don't want to ask me a question in private. It's not a body Polight. Everybody in Polight is a regular teacher. He looks important to y'all because he's bringing our information to y'all. As far as us, Polight, he said his Milwaukee bag is a God series. Nigga, that's 25 years ago. I'm about to have a raining day on you. Stop your wrote 700 books at the damn God series, nigga. You know what I mean? So I'm just tired of that. And then his level of disrespect towards the master teacher. You say you flexing throwing all this money around, and you call. Remember, Nuwapians don't say this. Polight said Dr. York is his God and his deity, his personal deity or whatever. All that shit. But then when Dr. York is in begging for commissary, the man dying in jail from angioedema attack, Polight don't up not 1 cent. We up in bread, I'm up in bread, everybody in the family up in bread, Nuwap is up in bread, but Polight don't give a dime. Polight's full of shit. That nigga's a cracker. He sits and eats with the beast, and then he tries to fabricate that shit like, oh, I'm stunting for the brothers and the sisters who can't make it. Nigga, you're the leader. If you're the leader, you're supposed to help the other people make it. You're not supposed to be stunting for them. It's stuff for their damn self. Then your opportunity to go show everybody, you say you're living like a king, go live like a king in Africa. You want to go live like a king in Hollywood. In the land of the Los Angeles. Like, but you couldn't be Nuwapi. If you're Nuwapi, then you know what we teach about brothers and sisters who move by their own hoods and go to Hollywood. Man, I'll take a raining day on Polight any fucking day.
Yo, hold on, man. Yo, man, god damn. Polight is my brother, but, I mean, yo, listen, brother. It sounds like you've been holding all of this anger in, brother, and you waiting for the opportunity to explode. Because the Prince York I know, you came on the scene a humble brother. You was trying to be humble with the people. So now, what's this? I mean, you ready to take on Captain Tazaryach? You willing to take on the Amon Ra squad? You want to take on Brother Polight? I've asked Brother Polight several times. Polight said, you know, I'm not going to debate Prince York. I can't debate Prince York.
Because Polight knows exactly who I am. Polight knows exactly who I am. Polight knows that he don't speak now. What is this goddamn? This nigga claim he speak 9 languages. That nigga lost his fucking mind. Polight don't speak no fucking languages. These niggas speak English. Polight is not an offended student. Polight was not in his triad. Polight is, man, let's not go. Bro, don't let me start pulling out fucking dirty laundry. I not that I've been holding stuff back or bottling shit up against Polight or against any of these brothers and sisters. All I needed was the grit, and I tell you from the beginning. When Tazaryach was there, the first time we were supposed to debate, I was like, nah, Tazaryach, I know Prince York scared, he's not a man. No, nigga, I just order and respect. So when he goes to request to do a debate with Captain up there with General Yohana, we have order and respect in our nation. I'm not going to do a debate unless the whole Nuwapian nation is with me and is going to back it 100%.
Some people accuse you of you just being a fucking hater, because I'm looking at the chat room. Not everybody, but just one person said this dude is a hater. Are you a hater, brother?
I'm not a hater. I represent the black people, and I speak on black people and injustice in the nation. And I think the coolest act, even worse than the white man, is a black man, an Uncle Tom, cool-ass Negro who utilizes the hopes and dreams of the black community to make himself profitable, and then goes back to the white man after claiming this man is the devil, this man is the beast. That is the ultimate sin against all the black nation. And niggas need to call Polight on that shit. I'll say that shit to his face. He's not putting his bulletproof vest on for the white man. He's putting that shit on for the black man because he just robbed so many niggas in the goddamn community. This nigga getting rich off the community. I'm not mad at that nigga. I'm not having a dollar battle with that nigga because it's not about the fucking money. When you're a leader, it's about leadership. So I'm questioning this man's leadership. I'm questioning the fact that if Dr. York teaches power is in unity, you break off this part, new covenant. I'm questioning the fact that you stole our name, new covenant. I'm questioning that shit. Then on top of that, you're teaching misinformation. You don't know our fucking doctrine and you're propagating like such. You came on the scene like you was a big peaceful nigga. Then I'm trying to hold my composure while sitting in the bed with you, Sarnetta, when this nigga said, I don't know if Dr. York is innocent or guilty. Then all the shit you saw everybody becomes bullshit if you say that. Reason being is because if you acknowledge Dr. York being guilty, then that means you're teaching the time that's the doctrine. And if you say you don't know, then that means you're teaching people information that's misinformation because you don't know if it's correct or false. Therefore, you are full of shit. You're promoting yourself. You're not helping the black race. You're not helping ascend us. You're not building shit. You're not building successor. Where the damn land? Where the pyramids? Where the work? He's not doing the work. He's doing the things in the debate because it fills his fucking pocket. So I'm coming for Polight's head. And he already knows who I am.
Damn,
All
man.
these other niggas,
Now, hold on, brother.
All these niggas, hold on. All these niggas out here, young Pharaoh and all these niggas, they run their mouth because they don't know who the fuck I am.
Well, let me say this.
Who the fuck we are.
Let me say this, brother.
Let
me say this, man. You coming hard at the brother, but this is your brother, whether you like it or not. He is married to one of your sisters. He is married to one of your sisters, brother. So he has now become your brother-in-law. Why not call the brother up and ask it and hash this shit out with him one-on-one first? Because you know I'm gonna have to call Polight, and Polight is gonna come back on here to want to clear the air. Hopefully I can get both of you together. But Polight is your brother-in-law. He is married to your sister, brother.
Wasn't he? Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Okay. I'm finished.
Whether he's my brother-in-law, my biological brother, my spiritual brother, or just as much as my brother as any other black man on the planet Earth, violation to the black community is violation to the black community. Repping the fact that you married to my sister, dating my sister don't mean shit, because Dr. Yo thinks he's a blessing to do that. So don't try to make it look like along with Dr. Yo's daughter, so that means he's pleased with what the fuck I'm doing. That's not how that works. So the people in the chat is saying, Prince York is massive Polight not giving money to the New York Nation, that's not why I'm upset. I'm upset because the entire black community, fuck it. We can take the nation out, take our nation out of it. The conscious community is built as an organization of multiple different nations. The Israelite community, the Moorish community, and then you just have the massive people who stand in the middle and they judge what we're looking and seeking what to follow. Remember, people, your soul, you're coming out of religions, so that means you're giving your actual soul to these pastors, these rabbis, and these imams who lied to you. Now that you're waking up, you're looking to see what direction is the fact, who has the truth. So when a nigga's playing with your money, he's playing with your soul, because now I'm following Polight, his spiritual direction, which is misinformation. Some people follow Polight because they think he's a succession of Dr. York, which is misinformation. Some people follow Polight because he's saying he's Horus incarnate, which is misinformation. So you being married to my sister don't mean shit. Dr. York's biological son had a locked up. So that bloodline shit don't mean nothing to me. Blood ain't thicker than water. Race is thicker than all. And I deal with the race. If any violation to the race of African people worldwide is when you piss yourself off. See, I can have a certain amount of respect for young Pharaoh, despite the things that he said are disrespectful, because he's not going to violate the race. He most likely will violate the race. Typically, they have a certain code or manner in which they actually try to do stuff, no matter what their race, creed, religion is. But when you go and you rob, you poverty pimping. You use the people so they get $30 for a ticket, and you baking and you eating off of that shit, and then you go out and you party all night. The same shit that Dr. York teaches not to teach, or the same stuff that you're saying is the problems in the black community. The social disruption, how niggas keep spending all their money on weed and drugs and alcohol and partying instead of investing in businesses. You do it as a module, so now the young brothers, 15, 16, and 17, are looking at you who's coming up conscious. Saying, I could be a nigga and conscious. Instead of saying, no, I can be an African. No, I can be spiritual. No, I can be wealthy without being a motherfucking coon. This nigga's a cracker. He ain't no different than a white man. And Uncle Tom get killed when Master get killed. Straight up, point blank, period.
All right, let me say this.
Down with him. That's how that shit go. Well, what Captain Tazaryach has to understand is he was like for 6 to 8 years. I've been in Milwaukee in my entire life. And what a lot of people don't know about the Milwaukee Nation, because we've been quiet, is we were born, raised, and groomed as debaters. This is why brothers like Brother Polight are so good at it. Because that's what we're built on. You may not see us debate on a public forum, but we're debating each other every day. Saturdays at the temple, we're getting in at each other's doctrine. Okay, you brought that, okay, I'm not dividing that with this. That's how we move. So I was built on debate. Then aside from that, I don't want to give away my strategy for the debate that's up and coming, but the Hebrew Israelites, what they have to understand is they don't know Nuwapu. So they're going to be on really defense. All they can do is attack Dr. York, which I've made a dedication. I promised my mother. I said, if they attack her, I'm not to my mom. So my mom was like, yo, you gonna flip. I'm going to attack. It ain't even emotion. Nigga, that's somebody's parent. I'm not bringing up nobody's parent. As a master teacher, if you attack somebody's master teacher, that's one thing. If you attack somebody's parent, that's another. You don't have to attack the author of the book because the book is a book of resources, a book of Bible verses. So attack what Dr. York is saying, what he's writing, there's no need to attack him because he's plugging in the information. It's not like it's handwritten script. So in that case, it's irrelevant. So as far as Tazaryach can't hang with me. And the reason why he can't hang with me is because Tazaryach he don't know how to attack us. For one, every 10 years, let's go down the timeline with you. Every 10 years, all the threes, we changed doctrine. From 1963, we were Polight originally. Then we went 1973, we went Ancestral Law. 1983, we were Hebrew. 1993, we were Right Knowledge. 2003, we went to the last schools of Christianity, abolishing Christianity and fusing it with Kemetic sciences to get you out of the Celtic and Kemetic. Because people kept saying Jesus and Horus are the same person. Then 2013, we went back in the movement. So he doesn't know this shit. So he's going to quote a bunch of old-ass books like Solomon Misinterpreted, which he misinterpreted. I think I need to make a video called A Misinterpretation of Solomon Misinterpreted, because Solomon Misinterpreted is not addressing saying homosexuality is good or bad. Solomon Misinterpreted is saying how scientists are looking at homosexuality, how religion is looking at homosexuality, talking about the topic. You can't just slander it and you can't just not slander it. It's a hot topic in the community. The community has homosexuals. How do you deal with that? Well, you have to be able to address them as such. So when addressing a homosexual, you have to be able to address, as a factual person, a rational being, you have to be able to address it with the facts on homosexuality. Well, a baby is not decided to become a boy or a girl in the first 3 to 6 weeks of being in the womb. So, and there are children born with both male and female parts. This is what Solomon Misinterpreted is going into. The introduction to understanding how homosexual could be possible, and then using biblical references to prove that or disprove that.
All right, hold on.
It was a conversation of both sides of the spectrum. So a lot of niggas misinterpret that. So you don't know he doesn't know how to attack us. He's getting upset or radical based on the topic of him attacking Dr. York. No, that's not going to happen. As far as him attacking Dr. York, I don't have a problem with you saying, okay, we can prove this teacher or this leader is uncredible. But as far as actually going into the case, to me, that holds no relevancy to the topic at hand. To say, okay, Dr. York is or isn't a child molestation. The child molestation. If you say that, okay, cool. If we give you the benefit of the doubt and we say Dr. York is a child molester, then okay, but you still can't argue within his book. And if we take that away from you and say Dr. York is a child molester, you still can't argue within the book. So either way it goes, that's irrelevant to the topic because we're talking about what he wrote. And what he wrote based on the books that I already know they're going to bring up because they don't have new shit. They don't know about that.
That's all I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying. I definitely didn't understand what you're saying. That's what I just said. I said you don't have to worry about me having a radical or irrational response to anybody throwing me slander. That's what I'm saying. I was just talking to my mother about that. I was like, look, you ain't got to worry about that for me. We're going to stay on the topic.
Right.
We can talk about the topic matter, you know what I'm saying, if that's what the debate is about. But the debate's not here for that. We're here to talk about your book. And I'm attacking the first five books of the Bible. We're going to go into the Tazaryach, the Shemot, the Wajid, we're going to all those different books, and we're going to murder them. That's the way we do it. We're going to clean the clock. Tazaryach, Shemot, all of the different books. The beginning, the departure, and he called in the wilderness and the words. So the proper translation of Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. So they don't have. Everybody knows this ain't even a competition. And another thing, I'm not gonna come with a petty argument. So I want to say that to the conscious community. So don't be mad at me when you say, "Well, Prince, why are you even entertaining it?" Because I'm not coming with a petty argument. Your God don't exist. What else say? Someone is amen. I'm not coming with that petty shit. I'm going in the book. So
all right, let me say this.
You might as well take your slideshow down and bring your Bible. I'm attacking the Bible. We don't give a fuck about the pictures and all the shit. What Hebrews like to do, this is what my father used to say. They like to run by going by what man said. His interpretation. No, what the fuck does the book say? Because everybody can interpret this one sentence any way they want to. But what does this book say? And when we go by what the book says, then we're going to stay on topic on that book. Let's say in the book of Numbers. Let's say in the book of Judges. Let's say in these books. Because you keep telling me what a man said, and you say you worship the Most High, not a man. So if you don't worship a man, then why am I listening to General Yohana's interpretation? I want to see what the God that you're talking about that's so damn powerful, what he said. Don't try to clean up the errors as you read it. That's what they try to do. They try to clean up the errors in the Bible. Oh, well, he meant one. No, nigga, that should say clearly that God is from the land of Egypt. And they should not know goddamn destroying Egypt. Nigga, get out of here with that dumb shit. So you already ain't got no competition. And Tazaryach ain't got no competition. What they do is they just want to make a little money and be seen. They already know that shit can't hang. We've been moving the Hebrew Israelites ass since 1984, and we're going to keep taxing that ass. We fucking 40 damn years into this shit. We ain't no new jack. And if you actually, this is the only point I'm going to bring up, and I'll make it quick, because I know my nickname is Long Ones. If you actually look at the case, all child molestation did over my fault started in 1993 and ended in 2001. Now, based on the testimony on everybody in the case, and we can't say names because this what they call it a rape act or some shit like that, the rape shield or something like that. But based on what they were saying, every single alleged victim that everybody claims to see. Now, if you add up what every person said, as consistently as they said, it was molested 3-4 times a day, 4-5 times a day, 6, 7, 8, 9 times a day. Added up from 1993 to 2001, you said it adds up to 11,568 times. Now, some of that's believable for a 60-year-old man. Now, on top of that, if you divide that up by each day of that year, that means Dr. Yoke was having sex 5 times a day, every single day, for 9 years straight. Are you kidding me? And then Dr. Yoke pays his taxes for 30 years straight. But then when one of the alleged victims is in charge of the finances from 93 to 2001, from when she came and when she left, it's the only 9 years span when Dr. Yoke can pay no taxes. Then if you believe in this shit, then go shut the cracker dick.
Right.
You right there with the rest of these fucking coons. Because, hey, you know, fucking 60-year-old man with a disease that drops his testosterone by 40% is having sex 5 times a day, every single day, for 9 years straight, while writing 1,257 books, and having his own children, and building pyramid and shit. That don't even make no goddamn sense.
Hold on. Not to mention, family, all of these beautiful, full-grown women around him. Come on, man. Think about that. He got beautiful women that is practically throwing themselves at him. He gonna tell them, nah, I don't want you. Let me get this 5-year-old kid. Think about what the fuck y'all be saying. Y'all going for the bullshit. All right, but let me...
Because they want to run from the information.
Right. There you go.
Tazaryach has to attack that because he got to run from it. Address Prince York. And then last night, Tazaryach said, who is Prince York without Dr. Malachi Zio? Prince York is a teacher that's going to beat your ass on that forum. That's who he is, y'all, Dr. Malachi Zio. Because Dr. Malachi Zio is in jail now, and I'm going to shit then, and I'm going to shit now. And ask for like this question. If Dr. York was out of jail and had never went, who would you be? Nobody. You exist off of Dr. Malachi Zio imprisonment. If Dr. York got out today, ain't nobody listening to that shit from you. Who the fuck are you? You're a student. Humble yourself. Take a fucking knee. Because if Dr. York never went to jail, Prince York will still be Prince York. And if Dr. York is in jail, Prince York will still be Prince York. Why? Because I rock for my motherfucking blood. I rock for the family. Point blank. Period.
Yes.
Can I ask questions?
Go ahead, Brother Reggie.
Peace, Prince York, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you, man?
So one of the things that me and the Nile Valley community is always concerned about is that when there is a man involved, one person, right? And the problem comes with is that if this person gives his group so much knowledge and the people so much knowledge, and if you're a student of this person, right, can you in fact ever move on? Do you always have to? And it becomes an issue because it seems in one sense that your nation sees your father as divine above other things. And that becomes and you have a right to do that for your group. But for the rest of us, We see him as a good teacher, a great teacher, right? But there were many other teachers at the time and before your father. So I'm not a member of your organization, never was. I've seen aspects of the various parts of your organization. I was more involved in the things that I was involved in, with primarily around Dr. Leonard Jeffries and Dr. Ben and Askak and the rest of them. So how do we? Okay, so I understand I understand completely what you say, and you have a particular right because one is your father, two is your teacher, three you're part of the organization, and you can speak for members in your organization. Now, outside of that, the rest of us, right? How do you deal with the rest of us? Because we're many of us are Nile Valley, not Nile Valley by blood. And the other thing, Prince York, is that you have this thing connected with blood. Do you believe that because you have your father's blood, that makes you more superior, or are you saying because you come from that lineage and because of your work ethic? Are you saying because of your blood or your work ethic?
Okay. So I'm gonna first and foremost, first thing I want to say to you is I want to thank you for asking me a very respectful question. These are the type of questions that people should ask me instead of just, this is intellectual. Instead of just sitting here bombing me with a bunch of child molestation theories, come at me about the facts. So first thing I'm gonna answer is with the deification of Dr. Malachi Zio. Well, we don't look at Dr. Malachi Zio as greater or more profound than anybody else. Reason being is because Dr. Malachi Zio is a God. Just as I am a God, you are a God. Wapians look at all African people as God. The term that we call them in Wapic is we call them Nagaru, which is which is a living God, like a physical one. Like how Pharaoh Ramesses proclaims himself a God and built the second. He built that role himself. That would be the term for that in Wapic. We would be called a Nagaru, a physical living God. So we consider in our nation everybody's a God, every woman is a goddess. All that equivalent ranking. There's no women below men. There's no men above women. None of that shit exists. Now, as far as Dr. York being special to us, Dr. York becomes special to us because we acknowledge him as the highest amongst the gods. So we're all gods, and we don't announce him the highest simply because he's a teacher. Just as the relationship between students and a teacher. The teacher will be the highest scholar in the room, or the professor, because they are what? The teacher or the professor. They're coming to teach you. So be educated. Now, as far as his relationship to other teachers, there's a rumor spreading around in the Wapian Nation, and I've seen an actual picture. I'm going to get it to sign up as soon as I can, of Dr. Ben himself on Tamaray. Not with Dr. York, but with some other Wapians, but you know it's Tamaray because you see the big black pyramid and the background and everything like that. So it was a relationship between the teachers, whether that people try to make it into be, and even if it didn't work, either two old men that have a beef, let it die out. Now, as far as Dr. York thinking himself greater than other teachers, Dr. York still is you're either all right or you're not right at all. So in his opinion of himself, and in a Nuwapian opinion, we feel that our doctrine, just like all, and everybody has the right to feel this way, with their doctrine, we feel that our doctrine is right and exact. So he would say, okay, other teachers, such as Bobby Hemmett, etc., are correct on Kemet, are correct on ancient Egypt, but can they break down Hebrew? Because if you can't break down Hebrew as an Egyptian, then you don't understand the full story. You can't say I know everything about the Nile Valley, but I don't know about the Assyrians, the Sumerians, the Cushite. You have to. His teaching style was knowing all aspects of everything. This was the consistent changes. So when you go into the deification of Dr. York, we don't deify him as greater or more than us. We simply pay homage and respect him as one being our elder and ancestor, and then as two being our teacher and our leader. Now, when you mentioned about people leaving the community or not being able to let it go, one, there's no cuff on anybody to leave in and out the community or anything like that. So there's nobody being held captive in the community or feeling bad if they choose to leave the community or not. But as far as that, most people stay loyal to Dr. York even while he's in jail. The reason being is because the Wapian Nation has enhanced itself far beyond an organization. We were an organization in the 80s. Now we're enhanced ourselves to a literal nation. We've actually resurrected certain aspects of culture. I don't know if you know this. The Wapians we have our own style of dress. our own language, our own food. We don't, you got Chinese food, they got their own kind of food. Soul food, not our food. Soul food is slave food. Nuwapians, we have our own style of food, our own type of music. We created our own music genre that we call NCM, Nuwapian culture music, which consists of hip hop to R&B to many other different sounds within our. So we have a culture. So people don't necessarily leave Nuwapu. They're actually, because when you become a Nuwapian, it's not like, okay, I accept. It's not a religion. It's not converting. It's not conversion taking place. It's a culture. It's a way that you live. Nuwapians, we teach every day, 9 a.m., 3 p.m., and 9 p.m. every day. It's not an obligation like how the Muslims pray 5 times a day. It's more of just for communication with your ancestors and spiritual connections. So as far as that's that. Now, before you ask another question, let me get to the last part. I believe your last question was on what again? I think I forgot it.
Well, I think on those parts, I think you covered most of the major sections, and I think
No, one more thing. Yeah, I remember. It's about the bloodline. This is very important. First, I'm gonna cut on the bloodline. So you said most of the people that considered in the Kemetic school of thought, they consider themselves Kemetites with the bloodline or not. Bloodline, for all the conscious people who are listening, bloodline, it means a lot at the same time it doesn't. Why? Because black people all are from relations. So when you go into the pre-dynastic, prehistoric period where the Nuwapians deal with, which is going back into Pangea, the Polight, the Pygmies, these different tribes and different stuff that occupy this massive land. You want to ask for facts on that, look up the pyramids that are in Antarctica and how Antarctica used to be a tropics, etc. That's what kind of explains that a little bit. But when you go into these different periods, all the black people we were one race, and we did come in different shades. It had nothing to do with the Caucasian race. This is millions of years before Caucasian race existed. You have light skinned black people, brown skin. Even 2 dark skinned parents right now have a brown skin shot. So it doesn't have nothing to do with that or your melanin levels, because melanin is expressed in multiple ways. You have melanin expressed in your nails. Black people have, if you go to Africans with red eyes, not because they eyes itch or nothing, just because it's melanin. Darker nails, darker eyes, darker lips, darker gums. You know what I'm saying? The lighter skin part in your hand will be darker. So, and even your hair, the course of your hair, the nap of the hair is also another expression of melanin. So, as far as that aspect of being a part of the Kemetic bloodline, all could technically say they're a part of the Kemetic bloodline if you climb up the chain high enough. If you keep going, then yeah. But some people are not directly descendants, but it doesn't weigh out anything more or less because you all have the common ancestor, which is African.
All right.
And the Kemetic Egyptians, or as how the Nuwapians see them, we see them as out of all of our descendants. When we say our, we mean Polight. Out of all of our descendants, we see them as the only ones that really truly maintain the true culture.
All right.
Bloodline.
All right,
you long-winded.
I
gotta answer the last question. This is the last question because this is important about my bloodline. I don't feel that I'm more superior than any other teacher about my bloodline. My bloodline goes further than my father. My father, if you study the Mahdi of Sudan, then you'll start to see who my bloodline is dealing with their connection to the religion of Islam. The Mahdi was a warrior clan of Sudan that are blood relation and blood descendants to the Prophet Muhammad. They're not very, very close descendants, but they're all blood relation. So through my years, through my grandparents and great-grandparents, all my grandparents before me, on my father's side, were all imams, meaning I come from a bloodline of teachers, whether they be a religion or not. They're teachers of Islam. Then coming to my father being a master teacher, mastering many different schools of thought. How that affects me personally is because being raised from birth to speak multiple languages, being raised from birth to be a natural born reader in a community, we didn't have TVs galore. We had books. So the children at 3, 4 years old, we was reading already full, Dr. York books. We using huge big words and stuff, and we were taught to pronounce these words in our native tongue, which is the Nuwapic language, as well as going into many other languages. So I don't feel that I'm more superior than anybody because of my blood being connected to Dr. York. I feel I'm more superior than everybody because I feel like niggas don't know what I know. And niggas ain't been doing this long enough. Most of these people woke up at 18, 19, 20, going to college for this stuff, or they woke up on their own spiritual journey and followed the teacher and went through the trails of consciousness. As being a product, there's not many products out today that can say, I was born and raised with everything that I know now. I got, 20-something years in this shit from birth.
All right, that's it. What I want to say now is, all I want to leave you with is this, my brother Prince, y'all. Before I give Brother Polight a call, I want to let you know that Captain Tazaryach, you're about to enter the Twilight Zone. Captain Tazaryach is nothing to be reckoned with. Don't sleep on him. Go and watch some videos. This brother have knocked out damn near everybody that he faced off with, especially when you come up to the camp. You don't want to go up to the camp to get no promotional videos on because the brother is a beast. So go do research. Don't sleep on him like he is sleeping on you. That's what I'm saying. Go and study the debate he did with Brother Polight. That way you can see where he's coming from, how he would probably try to throw a shot at Pops. So go and study that. Don't sleep on the brother. And I'm going to leave you with that. Let me go and hang up on both of you, Brother Reggie and Brother Prince York, and let me give the young phenom a call. Peace,
Peace,
and black
peace,
power
peace,
to both of you brothers.
All right, peace, man.
What do? All right. I want to give a shout out to my man, Haven Bullets. I seen you in the building. I just couldn't click over on you because I had Prince York on. So, my brother, if you want to call in real quick before I get the young phenom on, let's get it in. Let's get it in. Let me call you. Let me call Haven Bullets real quick. Let me call my man Haven. Before I get the peace, Brother Haven. I seen you calling in, but I couldn't click over right away because I wanted to get everything out that was inside of Prince York's heart. And I wanted to call you back before I get the other long-winded brother in, Brother Polight, my brother. So what's up, my brother? What's on your mind?
I was calling in because I wanted to ask Prince York the question of, if you knew Polight was doing all this faking and being a phony and all that other nonsense, why you didn't say anything when you were sitting right next to him? Because I remember watching him clear as day on the couch next to Polight, and they was having a conversation. He was agreeing with everything Polight said. He tried to get Polight to co-sign everything he said. He was smiling and beguiling. He was happy like a kid at Christmas time. Where's all this coming from?
Oh man, that's a good question. That's a good question. That's a good question to ask the brother. But
because if Polight was just a teacher of the New Orleans nation, and he's been faking the funk, acting like your father did all this special stuff for him.
All right, hold on.
Why didn't you say anything?
Hold on, he hear your question.
Why you play along with the special stuff for him?
All right, hold on. Here we go right here. Answer the question quick, Prince. Ask him, Brother Haven. Haven.
Oh, you want to ask him again?
Yeah, I got him on the line. Ask him again.
Peace, Prince. I got a question. If you knew all this to be true about Polight, why you didn't say anything when you were face to face with Polight? Now both were sitting on the couch together. Because the way I got is that you like Polight. You were smiling and beguiling. You were trying to get him to co-sign everything he said. Everything you said, you was trying to co-sign everything he said. You was doing all that. Where was all this before?
Okay, well, first and foremost, I was on that interview, I was asked to be very respectful to Polight, as well as I had not seen the video that I saw where Polight admitted blatantly that when Senator asked him, has hip-hop converted you, he stated it has. When Senator asked him, why does black people, as soon as they get the money, they move out the community. Senator even used a reference as Al Sharpton. They move out the community and move to the white man, and the white man is so vicious. He called the black race dogs and said we had wolves inside of us that will attack and try to get at his wife or his daughter. And I'm like, well, if you're the leader, it is your position or your duty to build and save that community. To the point where he even said, fuck the community. He said that on the video. So I never came to witness it. He said, fuck his community. You know, that way he's from or whatever. And I felt at that point, I was like, yo, so then I have to, there's order to this. It's not just, okay, these other teachers out here, they young Pharaoh, and they don't have no order. They're just teachers. So they can just run and ramble on stuff. Me, I have to say, okay, so y'all want me to do this? Because Polight is a former Milwaukee. And other brothers and sisters, they was like, yo, this nigga does not do shit. He's not a Milwaukeean. We can't even call him a former Milwaukeean. Because as far as being Milwaukee and being in part of any organization or nation comes with formal participation, Polight is not a part of us. Let me ask you, Prince, let me ask you, have you gotten the green light from your pops? Do he approve
of you slander. Some people will call it slander. Do your pops approve, and did they give you the green light? Because I know y'all had to first think about this and talk about this. So have he given you the green light to go hard body at Brother Polight?
My father has not given me the green light to go hard body at Polight. But the one thing that my father does know is my father knows there's been issues that the conscious community doesn't know about with Polight and the Nuwapian Nation for years, between slander going back and forth, different things like that. Me, I kind of ignored those things, especially the day when I met him in person. I ignored those things. I said, okay, well, whatever. I already know that he says, oh, I met your father. He has so many different, one minute he was father's son, next minute he was the son-in-law, next minute he's the spiritual master. But then when Captain Tazaryach confronted him on the street, but the brother has to understand it. I wasn't, and I told Sinetta, when I met Sinetta, I didn't even know who Sinetta was. I wasn't up to date with everything that's going on. So as I'm studying and seeing the history, I'm like, this nigga got up here and said that Dr. Yoke is not his father after saying Dr. Yoke is. So once you say that, I don't need the fucking green light. Because now, once you disrespected the master teacher, it's one thing to have issues with people in the nation. But if you disrespected the master, if you're in the nation Islam and you disrespect Farrakhan, then you're not in the nation Islam. So there's no more can Nuwapians kind of cover you for the shit that you say. Because Nuwapians do kind of cover for a lot. But things that he said, because we have information of things that he's done or things that we know that we don't release because it's like that's our brother, show respect to the brother, what I mean? Let him live his life because he's not a part of the nation. With no need, when we're not attackers. You notice that. We don't go out and attack, out and fight with different leaders and just call people out at random. They usually attack us and then we're defending. So in that situation, the same thing. Polight, he hasn't attacked us, so we were just like, okay. But then as far as him on the street corner getting ready to fight about Dr. Yoke being his father, but then turn around and say the same thing as I'm studying it. Remember, I have to study this. I've been reading our books. I've been knowing my doctrine. I had to study Sinetta. When I first met Sinetta, I was walking down the street with my wife. Tell him Sinetta.
That's
right. I was
right.
walking down the street with my wife.
As soon as I seen you, I know who the fuck you was. Now, I never met you before, but as soon as I laid eyes on you, I said, damn, this is little Dr. Yoke right here. Because y'all look just like twins. So I knew who you was, brother. But anyway, let me go. I'm going to let you go, Brother Haven. Are you satisfied with that?
That was cool, but it wasn't necessarily talking about what Polight has said recently. I was talking about when you were talking to him and you were on the couch with him, you knew all this stuff about him claiming to be this and that beforehand. And you knew, but like you said, this was going back and forth for years.
No. What you mentioned is this. As far as Polight's claims in the conscious community, the Nuwapian Nation had no connection in the conscious community. So I didn't know anything about what Polight was doing in the conscious community. All I knew about Polight was I knew him from D.C., when he was in D.C. years back, and we did a big event out there, and he came and he bogarted himself on stage. I knew that there was some form of relation between him and my sister, and I knew that that most people in the nation didn't mess with him. As far as the stuff that he does in the community, I'm seeing like the scams and the money. This is stuff that I've studied after meeting Sinetta and getting involved in the House of Consciousness and the conscious community as a whole. After studying it, I'm like, well, the respect that I embrace him with by not bringing up his dirty laundry as a Nuwapian, etc. The stuff that I embrace, and by showing him respect and mutual needs, like, yo, okay, ain't no beef. Even though you stole our name, you covered it. Even though you did it, I'm gonna come and respect you because this is your shit. It's his shit. You have to respect the man when you come in his house. You don't come in my house and call me.
So hold on, brother. I heard you use this word a few times. You keep saying scam. Do you have proof of that, or you just jumping on the bandwagon and listening to other people?
I don't know the context in which other people use the word scam. Okay. When I use the word scam means we're having people believing things that's not true.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Let's clear that up. I wanted you to clear that up.
As far as the scam thing, now I don't know what other people are saying, but as far as the scam thing, when I said people Polight is scamming people for their money, I don't know about some people talking about credit cards, IDs, different stuff. I don't know nothing about that. I'm talking about as far as going on the public forum to the people and representing yourself as a leader, as a module, talking about dogging a white man out the way that you do, gaining our love and respect, our attention. And then doing the complete opposite of what you say, you go to the white man. And then your excuse is, well, I got to dress up like the hip-hopper to get his attention. No, a real teacher doesn't have to do that. A real teacher comes to you as a teacher. And the hip-hopper who is seeking information is going to find it. I don't have to become a crackhead to save a crackhead. That doesn't make any sense.
All right. Time out. I'm gonna have to let you and Brother Haven go. Peace, my brother Haven. Peace, Prince. Let me get Brother Polight on the phone. I hope Brother Polight pick up. I hope he pick up so I could we can clear this up. I don't want to have both of y'all on the phone going at it, screaming and going crazy. Most likely, my brother Polight have seen and heard, because you know people will send shit over quick. Yo, Polight, they going in on you. Uh-oh. Come on, Polight, pick up, god damn it. You see the call. Pick up, Polight.
Yeah.
All right, my brother Polight, I want to first let you know that I am live on the air.
Give me a few minutes. Let me get off this phone. I have somebody else line.
All right.
Stay on. I'm coming through right now. I'm just getting off this line.
Okay. Well, as you can hear, it sounds like my brother been tuned in. People calls him and send him shit and say, yo, Prince is going in on you. We're going to get to the bottom of this shit right here. This shit right here. Man, listen. It's about to get turned the fuck up. It's about to get turned the fuck up now. Captain Tazaryach, you know I'm live right now. I got 667 people in the building right now, and I had Prince York on earlier, and we was talking about the possibility of the up and coming debate with you and him, brother. And I understand what you were saying as far as if he's trying to present some of his books, you have a right to go at the author. I do understand that, and I do agree with you to somewhat. But if the topic is not concerning him, why would you go at Dr. York? Because some people will say that's a scapegoat and you're trying to get away from the man that you're standing in front of. What is your response to that, brother?
I'm going to say something. Y'all coddling the shit out of this little boy. Y'all when I say y'all coddling the shit out of this little boy done said, you can't talk about his daddy with child molestation charge. I said, fine. I don't need to talk about it with the child molestation charge. Now, that little boy, Prince York, don't have a book of his own. He don't have information of his own. He don't have knowledge of his own. He don't have a culture of his own. He's following another man's culture. Let's take the father aspect out of it. He's following another man's culture. So if we was talking about the nation of gods and earths, we would talk about whoever's the founder of that. If we was talking about the Muslims, specifically the black Muslims like Elijah Muhammad or Farrakhan, what do we always do? Talk about their founder, Father Muhammad, being a white boy. It ain't about necessarily his name or whatever it is. It's about whatever you're following. So this young man is following the Wahhabianism. And now here it is, I say, okay, take the child molestation aspect out of it. But now when you start talking about 360 questions to ask the Israelite, where does that come from? The author happens to be his father. So now we got to go into that book, show how the author don't know what he's talking about. So it doesn't matter who.
You still there, brother? Can't hear you, Captain. All right, we're going to try to call Captain back. Brother Polight just texted me back and said give him 5 more minutes because he was on the line with something going on. So we're going to give him 5 more minutes. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah, sorry about that, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother. No, listen. I do agree with you, and what I'm trying to do with Brother Prince York is when you enter into this ring, you got to have tough skin. I know you don't give a damn what he bring up at all. He could bring up your daddy or anybody. You're going to stick with the topic. I'm trying to get him to have tough skin if you was to bring up Prince York, because I see it coming. Well, I see it coming. Well, I'm trying to see it. Go ahead, brother.
No, what I'm saying is, man, y'all got to take the train wheels off this little man. This little man trying to step into an arena with grown men is what he's trying to do. You know what I mean? And he's trying to go full tilt. He's talking about me, talking about Polight, talking about the young Pharaoh, talking about everybody, and he throws whatever shots he wants, and he thinks because he's your son, it's supposed to mean something.
That's a good point. Good point.
Like as much as he don't want us to talk about his father, we only know this little nigga because of his father. He's only a somebody. If he's only a nobody, that's a somebody because of his daddy, who his daddy is. He's living off his daddy's reputation. What has he actually done of himself? Like I said on my radio show last night, I come up under Commander Jenny Yohana. Commander Jenny Yohana has a reputation for what he's done. But I also built my own reputation that I can live off of. York don't have no reputation that he can live off of. That's why he always he talk more about his daddy than we do. He talk about what his daddy did in the 70s and the 80s, how he got this amount of money, how he was doing this, how he was doing that. Don't bring up charges because we know that's nonsense. His daddy coming home, he's doing all that daddy talk. And then when somebody refuted, then it's like, why you talking about my father for? No, nigga, why you talk about your father? If you want us to talk about something else, then you should talk about something else. He the one brought it to the table. He the one said, we don't never want to answer the 360 questions that asked the Israelites. Then he brought up, now if we leave it to the other stuff that he mentioned, he brought up Bible verses where he said the Exodus, the 2nd or 4th chapter says that we were nomads and the Egyptians had to teach us everything. It don't say that in the Bible. It don't. He mentioned other things that are in the Bible that are incorrect. Now, when it comes to that particular information, I'll crush them in 5 minutes, in 10 minutes.
Do you think he's in over his head fucking with you, calling you out? The man who has never lost a debate. Why would he jump up to you? Why is he fucking with the captain?
Here's what I say about York. That he can take it however he wants. I think he's in over his head, period. Because I don't think he knows what the fuck he's doing. To be honest, I think he's just a kid. Now, and I'll beat the hell out of him. You know, I ain't got no problem. If I think to go ahead to debate him, I got no problem debating him. But I also keep it 100 about the opponent that I'm facing. So in this regard, he don't know who he want to be. First of all, he don't know who he want to debate. Either me or Polight. He's talking about both of them. It's like he want to talk about me. He want to talk about Polight. He don't know who he wants to debate. But it just seemed like he really just want to make a name for himself. And I guarantee you, now here's what I will say about his daddy. I guarantee you, his daddy don't even want him doing what he's doing. I'll even say that. I bet you his daddy don't even want him doing what he's doing. He's doing this because he wants his own reputation, and he just barking up the wrong tree fucking with me because he's going to lose. Period. He don't know nothing. There's nothing that he's going to stand on his own. Even myself, since I've been in the conscious community, I've done lectures, I've done rallies, I've done a lot of things that I could speak of if we had to just leave it away from.
Let me, brother, I would love for you to be on, but you can keep talking. Let me bring in Polight because the Polight want to deal with something. Stay on. Hold on for 1 minute, brother Polight. All right, Captain Tazaryach, you were saying that he don't want us to talk about his daddy, but he can bring up Polight. He can mention you. He can talk. He feels that he have a green light to talk about everybody else. But if somebody mentioned his father, he start crying. Talk about that.
That's my point. And the only reason that he even thinks he has that gumption is because of his daddy. It's not nothing that, like, he ain't put no work in at all. He ain't put no camp in. He ain't do no lecture. He ain't do no debate. He ain't gave a rally. He ain't gave out candy to kids. He ain't done nothing. Only reason he's allowed to step into that arena is because of the name that he carries. It's damn near like the name, you know, like when a motherfucker running for president and they just running off their name. They ain't running off of anything that they've done. That's Lil Prince York. That's why he's all over the place. That's why he don't mention my name. He don't mention Polight's name. He don't mention Pharaoh's name. He don't mention Honor Ross Squad name because he ain't really got no lanes to stay in. So he's trying to be in every lane. And he really looks like a fool when he be talking because he don't make no sense when he speaks. That's why the scriptures he pulled out didn't make no goddamn sense when he pulled them scriptures out. Like I said last night, I'll beat the Father, the Son, and the Nuwabian Ghost. I'll beat all three of them motherfuckers. It doesn't matter to me.
All right.
I got on that.
All right. So thank you, my brother, for calling and clearing that up. I'll see you tomorrow, brother Captain. You know.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Peace, my brother. I'll call you tonight to see where we're going to hook up at.
All right. No sweat.
All right.
Hey, what up, Tazaryach? Hey, what up, Polight? Sure. All right, man.
All right.
Hey,
all right. All right. Peace and Black Power family. I have the man of the hour, brother Polight. Some people would say it was slander. Some people would say it's hatred. And I wanted to bring Polight in because I didn't know that he was going to come with that. So it would make me look fucked up if I would have hung the phone up on him the minute he started going in on brother Polight. Prince York. Prince York.
He just spoke today again?
Prince York came in and he was bitten. He was going in. He was going off. He accused you of being a scammer, not in the sense of you taking money. He's calling you because I cleared that up. I made sure I asked him, what do you mean by him being a scammer? He said not in the sense of he's scamming people for money. He's talking about as far as the Vlad show. He saw the Vlad show. He said you ain't call his daddy out. You didn't give his father no shout out. You didn't give his father a shout out on the Breakfast Club. He's saying he's just going crazy, going off now. He's fed up to him. He said you would not debate him because he knows you. You cannot fuck with him at all. He's just going in on you. He's calling you a fraud, that you don't know these languages, that you would never step up to the plate because you know who the fuck he is.
What are we talking about again?
He's talking about you, brother. I didn't want to have him on.
Talking about? Who's saying these things?
Prince York is saying this about you. I didn't want to have y'all both on because I didn't want to hear the screaming and hollering. I heard his point.
Screaming and hollering.
Now I want to hear your point.
Hold on. Slow down. This is the brother that I sat on the couch with. You talking about?
Yes, Prince York.
Yeah. When Simon was there.
Yes, sir.
The brother who sat there humbly next to me.
Yes, sir. This is Prince York.
Mean, people keep telling me that he was talking reckless about me prior to that day. I sat there next to the man. He had nothing negative to say, in my view. And then after the fact, I hear he's throwing shots. And then now you're telling me he's all turned up. Who does that kind of stuff? So now he's thinking about the Breakfast Club and why I didn't mention his father's name at the Breakfast Club. Now it's gone to him. I did the Breakfast Club interview before I encountered him on that couch. Why didn't he bring it up that day if he's so angry?
Well, what do you think, Brother Polight? Where do you think that this anger is coming from? Could it be your success? He said he's not jealous of that, but do you think?
Well, that's when a man says, your muscles don't scare me. We tend to believe it's the person's muscle at that point, and that's reservations coming from the mind of the insecure. So when a man says, and it's not his success that, has me perturbed, and naturally, we would suppose it is a success. Damn, you do a Breakfast Club interview, and how many people come out talking crazy? You do a Vlad interview, and people talk crazy. Like if you read the comments in the section, you're going to see the same Hebrew trolls that say, how come they don't put us on? Because, we speaking the real deal. That's why they put him on. And, that's why the Breakfast Club has him here. Because, how come you don't put us on the World Star? Everywhere you go, if you look into the comment section, you see the same BS. And I'm going to tell you why. People fail to understand this part. A big part of teaching has to deal with marketing and branding. You have to learn how to market yourself better. And if your best form of branding and marketing concerns yourself with trying to downplay other people who have opportunities that you yet to be confronted with, then that's horrible branding. Because the only thing you can do to sustain any kind of momentum is to continue talking about the person you're talking about. You see, when I got on them shows, you're right. It's not just Dr. York that I didn't mention. I didn't mention none of those people, but people who are immediately
supporting me in the now as far as media is concerned without divulging into too much politics or saying anything negative about anybody. Because that's what he would want and many other people would want. But I'm going to tell you this. My second grade teacher that's still alive, my second grade teacher isn't mad at me for not bringing their name up. My 8th grade teacher isn't mad at me for not bringing them up when I do interviews. When people teach you something, they teach you because the intention is to just make you a better person, not so you can throw them a shout out every opportunity you get on a platform. So I called you out several times, Sonetta, because you're very relevant immediately as far as media is concerned. I love what you're doing. I love what you bring to the table, and people can access you in real time. And there are certain controversies that surround certain parties in our community that a name drop wouldn't suffice because it will take away from the reason why I'm on the platform. And my job is to create enough attention around myself so when it suffices to use my influence to expound on things that I'm concerned with, that's dear to me, I can expound on it in elaborate detail at my discretion. Certain platforms, I have to know how the rules of engagement are and do what I can do on that platform without oversaturating it with data that I will not be able to complete on account to the information that I'm disseminating. So when these people keep crying, how come I don't mention this? How come I don't mention that? You stole that person's info. You should give this person credit for what you're teaching about. No, I tell everybody this. Why don't you create something around yourself where people call you to get on the platform so you can talk about what you want to talk about and see how your numbers look. My numbers is at 5 million. You seen the last one I sent you, Si. 5 million fucking views. Mm-hmm. I know what I'm doing, right or wrong. You feel me? I know what I'm doing to get the views. And you know what? Rather than them say, let's follow suit or let's practice walking a similar path, or there's something we can learn from this brother. You know what they do? They do like everybody else does and find themselves in the same space they're in today that they was in last year, that they'll be in next year, while I'll continue to rise because I won't be bothered by this chaos. I'm only talking about it because you brought it up. People got to get a hold of themselves. Never complain about what a man didn't say. Create an opportunity for you to say it.
Let me ask you this. He called you a cracker. He called you a fucking cracker.
He's a young man.
Why do you suppose he called you that? Let me tell you why. He said you sold out. You don't give a fuck about the people. You sold out to the hip hop community.
Let me just ask you one question, sir.
Go ahead.
Did he come to this revelation before my Vlad interview? Or did he come to this revelation after the Vlad interview he's mad about because I didn't mention his daddy's name?
Now, I'm going to keep it real with you.
Responsibility to mention his daddy's name. My brother, how long ago was it when I sat on the couch next to that black man? All these emotions about how I don't care about the community or don't care about the people, did this just happen a few weeks ago? And he realized he had to say something now? This conveniently happens after the man was sitting next to me? Are you serious? This man could have said everything on his mind when I sat next to him. Everything he has to say right now. Did it just dawn to him who he was sitting next to? Did it just dawn to this man who he was sitting next to? Is that what you're telling me, Sonetta? He just woke up and realized who he was sitting next to, and now he has to get it off his mind? Or did he have these reservations when I was next to him, but he ain't man up when I was around him? Right or wrong?
Good point.
Am I right or wrong?
You're right. You're right.
Unless you believe this shit happened to him a few weeks ago and he just realized, he just had this epiphany that I need to say something about this man. You feel me? I don't buy that. I don't buy it. It's a lot easier to talk this reckless when you're not around the people that you're talking crazy about. You feel me? At the end of the day, he's a mama's boy. And that's all right. No, he's a mama's boy. I'm going to tell you why. When you don't got your daddy to raise your fucking ass and you're not hanging around them dudes, it can go either one of the two ways. And he reeks of a mama's boy. Now, we love our mamas. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. When your daddy ain't around and you calling him polite to talk about your daddy like I'm your goddamn daddy, something's wrong. I ain't your fucking daddy, boy. Hey. I ain't gotta say the shit you asking me to say when I get on platforms. I don't gotta talk about your daddy. It's your responsibility. You love your daddy so much, you talk about your daddy. Ain't nobody else fucking responsibility to talk about your daddy but his own children. The fuck you sound like complaining about he ain't mentioning my daddy. So man, shut the fuck up with that bullshit. Nigga, it's your daddy. Pick the same glory that I fucking got and use it to your advantage. Stop this bullshit with these Negroes, man. If it ain't saying that I took this person's information and I'm not giving them props, or he don't care about the people, who gives a fuck if I care about the people or not? You care about them, right? If you care about them so much, they should respond to you the way they respond to me. Unless you're going to tell me people only give a fuck about the people who don't care about them. Is it so that Polight has created a situation where he's found all the Negroes in America that he doesn't care about to love him? But you love black people so much, you can't get the same amount of attention that I'm getting. But you love us that much. You are looking for a scapegoat. You're trying to make me your coping mechanism for why you are a failure. And you can't talk me into how successful you are. None of these Negroes can talk me into how successful they are. Because one thing about success, you cannot fake it. You hear what I'm saying? You can talk about how successful you are and how good you're doing. You can do all of that. But one thing about success that I love is not like the astrology people be doing. It's not like the foot reading that people be doing. It's not like the palmistry that people be doing. One thing about success is you have to actualize it before the people. And no matter how much he may pretend how successful he is, my brother, people can clearly see you've become a success at talking about how successful you are. You successfully talked about how successful you are. You succeeded in that manner. But if we had to look at your life, if we had to look for your wife that you say you have, if we had to look to see if you have children, which you probably don't, if we had to see what you have created around yourself as far as brands, books that you've written, if we had to look at your views when you are talking about what you want to talk about and you're not talking about other black men, we can clearly see you do not have a body of work. All you do is talk about your daddy's body of work. And no one's going to embrace you just because you speak good of your father. If you want to get the embrace, don't complain about me speaking about your daddy. Do like your daddy did. And you won't even have the time to talk about me. You'll never have the time to talk about me. If you did like your daddy did, you'll be buried into the books. And when you're not reading them, you'll be writing them. And when you're not writing them or reading them, you'll be teaching about them. But you want glory off your father's name. And your claim to fame is to attack people who you believe are not talking about your daddy. And that is the epitome of a mama's boy. Running around the damn community, crying and complaining about who's talking about your daddy. And y'all better stop talking about my daddy. What kind of grown fucking man would do that? But he's not a grown man. He's a little boy that lies about his fucking age. And I know how fucking old you are. I know how old you are. How you gonna tell me? It's your daddy that gave me blessings to be with your sister. I know how old you really are. I know about the bullshit going on in Bushwick. Come on, bro. Don't make me go there. You can't stop this craziness, man. You need to stop with this foolishness, man. Do your thing. I gave him nothing but support. When I sat there, I gave him nothing but support. I know he's full of shit. But I'm going to give him support because he's younger and he's excited. It means well, and he's distraught because his daddy isn't here. And I know how hard it is when you don't have your parents in your life. And I know how hard it is as a black man when your daddy either walks out on you or he's there for some part of your life and he's not there for the rest. But you got to wake this child up at some point. A lot of shit he said he wasn't even there for. And proof of that is, if we get this man's real age, you'll see he wasn't there for half the shit he said he was there for. And I'm not the only one that knows he's lying. King Simon knows he's lying. I'm not the only one that knows he's lying, but I sat there next to him and understand that he's a young man and he's very zealous to get the information out about how his father is innocent. So leave it on that level, man. Leave it there. And if you think a black man isn't speaking enough about your daddy, then you make sure you speak enough for yourself and for that black man. But don't front. I must be your leader, or I must be your daddy. If you're going to complain every time I don't speak what you want me to speak, who am I to you in your life that you need to complain every time I don't say what you want me to say? I must be your daddy then. See, when I turned around and I told my evil brothers, I must be your God, that's because they put too much onus on me. They put the onus on me to address certain things, and when they didn't like the way I would address it, they made it the end of their world. So I'm like, who am I to you that you need me to address certain things? You can address them. Don't lose your cool because I'm not addressing something you want me to address the way you want me to address it. So in the same manner with this brother here, if I don't bring up your daddy, it is your responsibility to bring up your daddy. It is your responsibility to rise up in a certain stature, get enough influence, and to tell everybody about the beautiful things that your father has contributed to humanity and make it go unparalleled to the amount of negative things people say about your daddy. And that's how you do your job. But young man running around this community, bothering everybody, telling them to stop talking about your daddy. Nah, let them talk about your daddy. But let you produce so much work that you become a reflection of your father, more than just how you look phenotypically. Show people the good that your father has contributed to the world. Be a reflection of the good that your father has contributed to the world. And then that's how you get people to not stop talking about him, but to continue the conversation about him. And then they can compare and contrast amongst what detractors say and what you say. And give people the opportunity to decide for themselves.
Damn, that's some good motherfucking good advice right there. I heard. That's some good advice. I like young Prince, y'all. And you know you my man. But let me ask you this, brother. The way he's moving now, do you think he have a shot at Captain Tazaryach? Because we know how disciplined these Hebrews are.
Man, not with those emotions, bro. He'd never get past the first round with those emotions.
Go ahead. Talk about it. Why not?
He'd never get past the first round with those emotions. Because Tazaryach can never be real disrespectful, man.
Right.
You know, that's their strategy. We're gonna see if we can disrespect you out of this fucking debate. Some Hebrews, man, they got their belief in God, and none of that stops them from showing you any disrespect, man. And the amount of emotion that he's reflecting and demonstrating, they'll exploit him, man. They'll look at his emotions and he'd be fooled in the first round. Never mind if he can beat them intellectually. We may never know, because he'll lose his damn mind once he hears something he don't like. He'll lose his mind. He ain't got the discipline, man.
You said the minute he hears something he don't like, you said he'll lose his mind if he hears something he don't like.
Yeah, he'll lose his mind. So he's losing his mind from things people don't say. He ain't complaining about me for what I say. He's complaining about what I didn't say. What kind of man does that? And open and publicly comes out and says, man, he ain't mentioning my daddy. Like, come on, bro. So what? So what? So what? I opted out. I mentioned my wife. What I'm supposed to do? My wife's saving my life, homie. Fuck you want me to do? Put my wife down for another man? Fuck out of here, man. Are you stupid? I decided I elected to put my wife in the slot that saved my life. I'm not no brainwashed Negro, and I got to give that to another man. My wife is the one that woke me up. My wife is the one that bought my books and said, I believe if you keep reading, you're going to be great. My wife did that. Ain't no man did that. So I'm supposed to do. Spend more time talking about a man when a man asks me, why am I conscious? Vlad said, why are you conscious? How did you get here? I'm not supposed to mention my wife. I'm supposed to mention your fucking daddy. Are you kidding me? See, people got this shit twisted, man. And you're going to be the same one turning around and say the black woman is hard, but you're going to tell me put this man before my wife. Come on, man. Those are backstories. Backstories to how I came about. My wife in there with me before I knew anybody. Before I knew the Black Panthers, before I knew the Moors, before I knew Europeans. It's my wife that put up with my shit long enough to get herself together, to believe in me, to get my stuff together.
Well, let me ask
you. Any fucking man doing anything good for me, I'd be remiss if I didn't take every opportunity I got to bring up my wife that saved me.
Let me ask you.
Grow up and become a little bit older. Fall in love with somebody that do right by you, my little brother, and then you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Let me ask you, brother.
Bro.
Let me ask you, Polight. The way he's going on now, because he's gonna come back again. The way Prince York is going on, would you consider getting in the ring with him?
Why the hell would I do something stupid like that, man?
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Views on my last video.
Why wouldn't you? Go ahead, brother.
2.7 on the previous one. 1.8 on another one a month ago. I'm on major platforms, CNN, Fox 5, Breakfast Club, Vlad. I'm disappointed in myself for even carrying this conversation this long about this Negro. It's just because you my brother.
Uh-huh.
So this is good. It's good for your platform. It's not good for me individually, branding concern, but it's good for Black news, and I fuck with Black news. So I got to be part of that because it's a contribution. I'm just mad that he's the subject matter.
Right.
I'm not going to contribute to anything with his name in it the way he going about it so disrespectful. See, these young brothers, what they ain't understanding, and some of these other people that's washed up too in this community, what they ain't getting about this whole scenario, this is the deepest part. Bruh, I came into this before I was dealing with anybody. I came up with making my own soap, lotion, deodorant, hair grease, and body spray. I made sure, because I'm autodidactic, I took time out to learn centennial calculus, algebra, geometry, and sequential mathematics 1 to 6, so I can make money off of teaching it to people who needed help in it. I try to find something unique that most people don't know about, so I can keep myself alive, so I don't have to do something negative. That was the challenge that my wife gave me. So in the process, I learned how to make my own Pampers, learn how to make my own cosmetics, learn some aspects of math, like I said, centennial calculus, algebra, geometry, sequential mathematics 1 to 6, made my soap, lotion, deodorant, hair grease, body spray, and Pampers. And every time I made something, I showed you why mine was better than the other person. If I made any cosmetics for the face, it's because they didn't have phthalates in it. And that's metals that's inside of the makeup that they normally put on, that over time, because your skin is porous, it pulls down. Gravity pulls down on the metals that goes into your skin. And that's why when you look at prostitutes over years, or people that wear makeup over years, it looks like their face is drooping down. And I would break down the science and I would sell my product. Or the talc or the other products that they put into the Pampers that cause cancer. Then I started writing my own newspapers and breaking down the horrors of milk and everything. And how milk has 750,000 somatic cells that you can plus. And 24,000 live bacteria before the Food and Drug Administration takes it off the shelf. These are things that I had to commit to memory of how it's pasteurized, the process in which they use radiation to prolong the shelf life of that food. These are things that I had to commit to memory so I could teach it on the train per a 30-second train stop, a 40-second train stop, to sell my 12-page newspaper. And when people say you're selling that 12-page newspaper for only $1, why should I buy it? I said, because this is about as much of a newspaper that is 150 pages that you would actually read. I just made sure all 12 pages are quality. And I worked. So many people know me in New York for selling my own newspapers. And I made enough money selling my own cosmetics, my own newspapers, so I was able to go and open up my first bookstore in Utica between Bergen and St. Mark's. Okay? Then I opened up another one on Bedford Avenue. Okay? Between St. Mark's and Bergen. Then I opened up another one in West Philadelphia. Okay? Then I opened up a restaurant in Bushwick on Halsley. Outline of Alkaline. That's where I met A.A. Rashid, coming to my restaurant because he's related to the Pills. And that's where Blue Pill used to come to the restaurant. Blue Pill, I met him at my first bookstore on Utica Avenue. He used to come to my meditation session when I was praying in 2 different languages. And he used to like the vibrations of it. Not so much that he didn't understood the words. He would come after I taught my language classes just to sit in for my meditations and prayers. That's how I met Blue Pill. I didn't meet him through the conscious community. I met him through coming to my bookstore, and I was giving it up in prayer and making the prayer musical and doing my thing, filling up my bookstore with people who just was coming in for prayer, and I was praying for 30 minutes straight, going in on the language. Okay? So I did my journey. Then I started teaching in my Alkaline restaurant. And that's when A.A. Rashid got invited to the restaurant. That's how I met A.A. Rashid. through my alkaline restaurant. That's how I met him, not through the conscious community. That's how these brothers knew me, and they kept telling me, yo, you need to be part of this. You need to come through. Yo, we got a radio show. Now I was like, I hear you, but I'm doing my damn. Then I'm setting up and selling my own books that I'm writing on the streets on Nostrand Avenue, Nostrand and Fulton. Then I work alongside my brother to get into the food business on Nostrand and Fulton Food Emporium. To this day, you go over there. We got our own health food. And I worked my way into the business for selling health food. Still got it to this day, Fulton and Nostrand. Then I started writing books to people's lectures. So when Dr. Delbert Blair did 2012, I wrote a book on 2012. When Phil Valentine was talking about humans being integrated with machines, I wrote Satellite Terrorism and Cyborg Genetics, Integration of Man and Machine. I was writing books to people's lectures and selling them at the end of people's lectures. Then I started sharing the stage with a Phil Valentine, sharing the stage with an Ashraf Kwesi, sharing the stage with a Dr. Africa. Okay? I shared the stage with Dr. Sadie. And Dr. Sadie took me on tour where I would share the stage with him in Philly, share it with him in Atlanta, share it with him in California, share it with him in New York, because he took me under his wing. So the elders gave me their support. The elders gave me their support. Your Ashraf Kwesi's, your Phil Valentine, your Dr. Sadie's, your Dr. Africa's, your Queen of Wars. I did something with them. They gave me the support. Your Lester Lovins, they gave me support. Dr. Ben was showing up to my classes. He showed up to my first year anniversary, second year anniversary, my third year anniversary, lecturing by myself. Then I started doing debates and seeing the growth of the hip hop generation and the battle rap. I said it'd be more marketable that I do my education through debates than do the monologue of the lecture. So I slowed down on my monologues, that I filled up rooms with Stocks and Blondes being one of my most critically acclaimed single lectures, where it was raining cats and dogs and I still filled up the National Black Theater by myself. That's when I knew I had the juice. Then I started doing my debates, filling that shit up, and rocked it so hard no one else could even do the shit. I shut the shit down for damn near 3 years by myself. When niggas tried to do their debates, they couldn't even bring out the same people. I had to be involved for it to fucking pop off.
Facts.
Now the young boys come in and they want to go straight into the debate. They don't want to get the respect of the elders and open up for the elders. They don't want to join nobody's organization. They don't want to write no fucking books. They don't want to create no products. They don't want to teach on the streets. They just want a short way, easy pass. I ain't no fucking toll booth, nigga. You want a fucking easy pass to success. So no, it don't be arrogance, family. I can tell you the path that I walked with my family, who was selling my newspaper. Selling my newspaper along with me as I taught them how to sell those newspapers. And all of us was bringing $300 to $400 in a fucking day. Bought our first house with that shit. Bought a property in Florida with that. That's how we opened up all those stores. My wives and all the niggas are saying, oh, those weren't only with you because you had money. I was with 3 women in the projects with no furniture who believed in my vision. And that's why I fuss with all of them to this very day. So don't tell me my women was with me only because of money, because I ain't had money in my first 3-4 years just trying to teach. I ain't had the shit. All I had was a vision, and they believed in me as a teacher. So I'm not going to let these little niggas fucking talk down to me. I'll never let one of these little niggas talk down to me. And that's what the fuck they are. Little niggas. I put too much fucking work in. I just make the shit look easy. People just now starting to find out about my story, cuz they ain't even know my shit. Y'all just starting to really find out what it looked like, Crow. They don't know what it is. I put in fucking pain, bruh. I put in pain. I had to survive, and I had to keep believing in myself. And when I was not believing in myself, it was my wives that reinstilled the conviction back into me. So before I can mention a Dr. York or anybody, I got to go through my first wife. Then I got to go through my second wife. Then I got to go through my third wife. Then I got to go through my fourth wife. Then I got to go through the 2 sisters that I'm courting because they keep me the fuck alive. The fucking men keeping me alive. If my wives didn't believe in me, I wouldn't be shit to this fucking day. What a man gonna do with me that's running his organization when I'm feeling low, other than take me out of position and put another nigga back in my space? What a fucking man gonna do for me if I ain't functional in his organization other than replace me? My wives didn't fucking replace me when I was lower than dirt. They work with me. A man in an organization gotta replace a man that's not efficient. You feel what I'm saying? So don't ask me to mention no other men before I mention my women. I work to get into this space, cuz that's what I'm trying to tell these people. They just coming in here and they call me out, and if I don't respond to it, then I ain't shit. Then I'm a bunch of negative names. And then when I say, man, they just acting like that because I said I don't want to do a debate with them. They say, no, it ain't about the debate. It's about this, that, and third. No, it's because you asked me to debate, but the way you went about it is so disrespectful, you don't even realize debate to me is a donation from you, like it or not. It's a donation. Because that man that you talking about debating, when I'm done debating you, I'm still going to be on my media tour. I'm still going to be seen in movies. I got my own reality TV show coming out. At the end of the day, if I do something with you, it's a contribution to you, like it or not. From the very money that you're going to make when you get paid to do the debate, the money you're going to make, in addition to the fact you did a debate with that brother as opposed to that brother. What is the glory in debating somebody who's going to be on the same level that they're on this year, next year? At least, if you don't fucking come up, the come up is you talk to somebody who did come up so you can have that on record. Like, yo, I actually was in a forum and argue with him. Don't play me, man. And you don't have to know my worth. But there ain't nobody can pay me what I'm worth. So I know I'll never get paid what I'm worth. I get paid what I negotiate. So it ain't worth negotiating with those brothers because their mind ain't even on the business. Because if mine was on the business, I'd have done debate these brothers. But their mind ain't on the business. Their mind is on the character worship. They want to disrespect me because of who I am. They want to disrespect me because they believe that somehow they should be as successful as I am. And every time they work hard, or they think that they're working hard, these young brothers don't got the patience, brother. They don't got the patience. They do not have the patience to endure hardships. They just want the glory right here, right now. And they want to call everybody else out to do their best to see if they can just get on that damn debate stage. But guess what, family? Once they finally get on the stage, once these young brothers get on that stage and finally do their debate, and they catch their feelings from things being said to them, because they're emotional. Once they do it, then what? The high is going to go away.
All right, Brother Polight.
Now you got to hold yourself.
All right, Brother
Polight. This may be
Polight.
the only thing you can never do is just try to debate people. And what happens when people get tired of that? What you going to do with yourself? How you going to feed your family? How you going to pay your bills? How you going to live a better life? How are we going to see progression? The best thing you can do for anybody in the community that's even watching you is to progress from one year to the next. Fuck a debate. And I'm not knocking these debates in general. I'm saying you make your world revolve around, you ain't going to debate me. Nah, bro, I would like to see you in a better space that you were in from one year to the next before I even waste your time trying to talk to you while you ain't even figure your situation out as a young man. I ain't gonna trick you into thinking when you do your debate with me, it's your special come up. You're gonna be a failure. You need to focus on growing your family. You need to focus on sitting down with your wife and constructing a business with her, producing a child, and contributing to selfless acts of love. That's what you need to focus on. Be a man. Make a baby. Take care of your woman. And show the community you can stay in a consistent relationship from one year to the next so you can demonstrate leadership in its most purest form, which is to be a husband. Do that first. Then I can talk to you. Because then I know I'm talking to a sane man. But talking to these fucking single bachelors or these niggas in and out of relationships, they're reckless. Talking to people who don't even got their finances straight, but want to talk about other people's finances, they're reckless. Talking to people who don't got children or don't take care of their children, you're reckless. You have nothing to lose. So I got to sit here and say, I'm dealing with a man who doesn't have a woman that's going to turn around and say, yo, baby, I think you've gone too far. I'm dealing with a man who doesn't have to think about his child or his children that's going to say, Daddy, we want to see you when you come home. Yo, that's reckless intention waiting to happen. And then I got to find myself in a precarious situation where these brothers go overboard with their disrespect. I got to start thinking about, am I willing to sacrifice my life to prove a point to this Negro that he shouldn't disrespect me the way he is?
All right, Brother Polight. Prince York been texting me, letting me know that he would like to get in, and he said he will be respectful. Is it all right to let the brother in?
Man, he can come in when I'm done talking.
Okay.
There's time for that, brother, man. Come out of space. I give that brother nothing but respect. Nothing but respect. All we got to do is look at it. Even when he throws little shots when I'm next to him. Took it on the chin. So, man, he's a young brother. He comes from a man that I got a great deal of love for. So you know what? I'm like, yo, let that man do what he do. And everybody hit me. Yo, the brother's still throwing shots. People told me before, brother, didn't you see the brother throwing shots at you before you spoke to him? Yeah, but you know, he's younger. Them young boys supposed to they're supposed to do that, but the extent that they go to is crazy. Understand the competitive nature of what we do here in scholarship. We made it a sport. So what the young brothers supposed to do, their come up is to see if they can entice somebody that is above them in ranks, not as a human being, but as far as body of work is concerned. You're supposed to see if you can pop shot and see if you can entice a person to engage them into a little battle. See if I fall for it. If you see I ain't falling for it, give it up and talk to somebody else who don't mind talking to you. Don't be rude and disrespectful. So I don't get mad when the little homies throw their shots, or when the washed up homies throw their shots. I understand what that's about. It's the competitive nature of man, and we made a sport out of this. So I don't take it harsh. I don't take it personal. But if it should persist, and you see I'm not really concerned with talking to you, there's an issue.
So let me ask you, Brother Polight. Prince York, going into this debate with Captain Tazaryach, do you have any advice for him?
Yeah, keep your composure, young brother, and represent your father to the best of your ability. That's it. Keep your composure, man. And don't get concerned with what those brothers have to say. That's derogatory. Let those brothers share or cast their dissenting views about your father. Don't let that bother you. Your truth should validate him. Their slander shouldn't invalidate him. If they're standing next to you and you got the opportunity to share your side of the story, don't distract people from your chaos of emotion. Don't distract them with your cries and your woes. Don't distract the people with that. Don't take no time off of them. Lean on them all day, just with facts, to the best of your ability, and let the people be able to definitively conclude what they should yield to as far as the truth is concerned. But if you mess around and you start all that emotional shit, man, nobody, it'll undermine everything that you do say that's going to be smart. Everything that you do contribute that's going to be good. Ain't nobody going to talk about that. Ain't going to talk how you made a fool of yourself. That's going to be on the news lines. Ain't nobody going to remember one damn thing that you said that makes sense. If you play this bratty type of child and you have that bratty disposition about your daddy this and your daddy that, and you're going to disappoint everybody who do support you, including myself. You're younger than me. I got no choice but to support you. Even if you don't fuck with me, I'm going to support you. Might have to support you from a distance. May not be able to support you verbally. You keep fucking talking about me. But nonetheless, you got my support. You feel me? You're younger than me. I ain't got no reason to wish you the worst. You're so young, you're entitled to make these kind of errors, brother. So I don't think I hate you. I just don't like you right now. That's all it is.
All right, Polight. He's really want to get in the chat, man. So do you
knock himself out?
Do you want
the phone? You
don't want to answer one question from the brother, or ask him why he's.
I don't want to answer nothing about that brother, because he was rude and disrespectful, and that's the laws in Polight's book. Okay. Once these young brothers come out their face, guess what? I couldn't do that. You know what I did? I worked with the people that was on top and popping. I knew my place. You know where Mayweather was at when he first was boxing? He was on the B side when he had to fight Oscar De La Hoya. He had to take that man's crown. Then he was on the A side and he kept that.
Let me tell you why this is important, Polight. Let me tell you why it's important. Because I don't want to be able to let him in and then he's saying shit where you can't come to defend yourself.
I don't have to defend myself. All people got to do is look at my body of work and compare and contrast.
Okay.
I mean, he ain't going to stop my bills from being paid. Shit, you know what it is to have two wives' birthdays in the same week? You don't know. Many people don't. I do. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to tell people, like, yo, I'm not losing no motherfucking sleep no time soon, man. You feel me? I ain't about to be in my house cussing about this young man when I got 4 women at my disposal. And anytime we can all go somewhere, I say 2 out of 4, say 3 out of 4, say 1 out of 4, say, let's do one different one each day of the week. I can say, let's add the 2 women we caught, and that makes 6, and we almost got the whole week filled up. I'd rather deal with the women in my life than to be concerned with this young brother and his adolescent issues. I'm hoping he gets better. Because if he doesn't get better, he'll find himself in other problems. Not by way of me. I'm too mature to let him make me make a bad decision again in my life that will separate me from my family. But that young man has to be careful in his approach. I know he feel like he's Top Gun. That's what a lot of these young brothers feel like. They curse everybody out. They make threats. They say disrespectful things. But I worry about those young brothers because that's the conscious community. And some of us in this community ain't fully transitioned from the streets to the consciousness. So we got to be careful. The young man got to be careful. He got to be careful. He got to stop with this foolishness. Just deal with the information. But I ain't got no time to talk to that young man till he grow up, till he mature. You feel what I'm saying? Grow some chin hairs and do what you do. And you know, that's just figurative. Just figurative. Mature. Finish your puberty. Go do what you're going to do. Okay? Make you a family and do what it's really about. Not argue and complain with people on Black News 102. When you get on Black News 102, people should know about you teaching more than they should know about you complaining. Most people know this man as a complainer right now. What do you complain about? I ain't got to tell you what he complained about. Everybody in the chat room will start writing, Daddy. That's what he complained about. Daddy. There's no reason. I can never be ducking somebody when I have the body of work that I have. No, that's a person who wants to talk to me for all the that I'm aware of, and then some that I'm not. I know all the reasons why he would want to talk to me. That's because of my influence. Because he's not complaining about talking to my man Jamel Jenkins. You know why? No one knows who the fuck Jamel Jenkins is. That's why neither you want to interview himself, nor him wants to talk to him. You know why? Because he didn't contribute nothing to the community for him to be relevant. So yeah, that's what it is, man. I got that, but whenever I get into these precarious situations with these brothers, whether be they young or old, but most recently the younger brothers who fired me, the only person I mess with right now is brother Young Marcus, because he humble. Young Marcus called me, asked for mentorship. We build, we exchange information. I value his information and his approach. And so long as he stays humble, I'm going to keep rocking with that young man. And I'm going to continue to build with him and contribute any way I possibly can contribute to him, because that's what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, I'm young, but these guys are younger. So then I got to play the role. I can't be over here competing with brothers younger than me. I got to be over here and try to get them up to par. So rather than me be contentious or get into contentions with these brothers, it stands the reason I just fall back. I don't want no one older than me have to look at two different generations go at each other in very negative, volatile ways and disappoint us. How to disappoint the brothers and sisters that work so hard to put us in the space that we in. So yeah, I would have talked to him just like I did that day on the couch, my brother. But guess what? When I sat there next to him on the couch, he already disrespected me several times. But as a man, I just took it like, yo, you know what? Let me see what his spirit is like when I'm next to him. And it was just like I thought it would be. Positive. So now I'm not next to him. Now he can talk crazy again. Come on, brother. Now that's it. Enough is enough. I already sat down next to you in light of the fact you already been disrespectful to me. I sat next to you and still gave you public support, which I will not take back. I will not take it back. Support is support. But fam, you ain't gonna keep disrespecting me, and then now what? I'm gonna sit here and have a conversation with you about what? The only thing I'm concerned about is why you feel the necessity to disrespect me. I'm not the one saying all the crazy stuff about your daddy. You just mad that I don't mention him as much as you feel I should mention him. Fine. But at the end of the day, so many people have said so many negative things about your father in this community. I should be the last person in line that you have a problem with. Last person in line. So what's this infatuation with talking to Brother Polight? The very man that you said your father said, yo, love that man, walk with that man, paraphrasing that is. Why do you support that man? According to your words, not my words. You know. I don't know. You said those things. What you upset about? Your priority should be in the people who are violently trying to diminish the legacy of that black man. You don't have a war with me. To try to create a war with me is to try to deflect and distract people from the actual battle at hand, which is with Tazaryach and all these other people that be throwing your father's name in the mud. Too many of them is out here. Too many of them is out here for you to be focusing on Brother Polight. I just want the brother to do is just grow up. I got a lot of love for him. But guess what? And for the immature people that's out there, that's like, yo, you be ducking these young brothers when they come at you. No, when they're disrespectful and they say violent things against me, or when they have opportunities to talk to me, and when I talk to them it's positive, and then when they get before the public it gets negative, I just decide I don't want to talk to them no more. Because the only thing that can come out of it, because I know my nature, is I'm gonna wind up turning up. And then guess what? They don't want to turn up. And you know what's disgusting? To me, one of the most disgusting things you can see a man doing is yelling, cursing, and screaming at another man on the phone. I like to reserve my right to do that kind of stuff with my wives. If I have any type of yelling, cursing, and screaming going on or arguing, I'll do that with my wives. And if I ain't been having that kind of energy going on with my wives, why would I exchange like that with another black man? Come on, man. It's only when emotion is extremely high I should be found in that kind of state of condition. And thus, I understand when a man may raise his voice, curse, yell, and scream with his wife because the emotion is high, because they sexually exchange fluids with each other. I don't understand it when two men who are not sexually exchanging any fucking fluids, why do they gotta yell, curse, and scream at each other like that? What kind of relationship do these Negroes got that they gotta contribute so much passion in their deliberations against each other? I don't want it. It sounds homosexual. Me yelling, cursing, and screaming against another black man, it's too homosexual for me. And these invites that I get to have those kind of engagements, this man talking about when he get on the phone, he gonna be respectful. There's no way you can be respectful, because if you got on the phone respectful, that would be disrespectful because of the disrespectful shit you already said. And if you got on the phone disrespectful, it would be disrespectful because you personally disrespected me now. That's how my intellect works. You ain't gonna come on the phone now and start pussyfooting and being nice so we can have a conversation, because then I would be suggesting that you can disrespect me in order to get my attention to have a conversation with me. And I have more worth and I have more value than to allow somebody to devalue me in that particular stance. I'm not going to allow someone to disrespect me and then get an opportunity to talk with me. It don't work like that. As a man, you want to build with me, you get it right in private, you build with the people in public, chop it up. Why you talk to Tazaryach? Because Tazaryach still went on a radio show to declare to the world, I did not disrespect Brother Polight's wife. That shit that you guys are saying. Tazaryach went to my wife. Despite the fact he said he didn't disrespect her, still apologized to her directly. Same day. That's why I can invite that man into my household. Because as a man, he went into public and rectified the situation. He didn't try to embellish on the situation. So it shows a great deal of maturity and manhood in that black man. That he ain't try to take it and run like other black people who they just mad at me. So that's why that man could be invited into my house.
All right, Brother Polight.
Let's be real here.
In closing, brother, because this dude is begging to get in real quick. In closing with you. First, are you sending me the video today, brother?
I was working on it until you gave me this phone call. Hey, right. I just want you to know before you talk your lies. I said, oh, shit.
I think you should be on and talk with him.
I ain't got no time to talk to him, man. That black man got to be respectful. I didn't come out my face and disrespect
all right.
I got you. Hold on. If he had a problem with me as men before he casted his dissenting views to the public, what should he have done first before his resort?
I tell you what.
Let me go to the public.
I tell you what. What if when we get off air, we can have a three-way call amongst ourselves? How about that?
I don't want to have a three-way with no men. I ain't talking to no men or no three-way about no damn what.
All right.
He's rude. He's disrespectful. Okay. I ain't having no three-way.
I got you.
No three-way conversation. Ain't nothing to talk to him about. Let me cool down, because I'm not in the space mentally.
All right.
To talk to someone who's so disrespectful, man. If I had an issue with that black man, I would have called him knowing that I could call him. And I would have talked to him first before I shared my views with the public. What's up with that? Anybody suggest that we do otherwise as black men are fucking evil. You feel what I'm saying? When this shit gonna stop with us as black men? So the number one reason most of us got issues in the conscious community, because we don't call each other up when we got an issue. We go on YouTube and everybody find out who got a problem with who for the first time on YouTube alongside 1,000 other people at the same time. Where's the manhood in that? Now niggas got virtual friends in Facebook, so they treating everybody like this shit is a virtual reality. What happened to the organic experience? If I got an issue with you, let me address you as a man under man terms and conditions.
All right, bro.
Not requesting, not uploading videos. Now this is some real shit.
Shout out. I want
real talk.
I know. Go ahead.
It's real talk, man. Real talk. So I'm just taking a stand for the last of the real men in the virtual world. When I step into this virtual world, I just try to give a testament to real manhood. Yo, focus on building a family, bro. That's your focus. Don't get too caught up and trying to get into the limelight and get the recognition of being smarter than someone or catching someone wrong in their doctrine. Don't let that overshadow the fact what you're supposed to do as a man. Your first priority is build your own little nation to the best way you can. Because you ain't going to be able to really save a lot of these people that's already alive. The best thing you can do is create children and under your jurisdiction, educate them to the best of your ability. So we got some people coming into this world that's been edified by a master in training. That's the best thing you could do. Focus on being a husband. Focus on being a father. Then start focusing on being a leader in this community. Don't get distracted. Don't be distracted. You feel me? Because that's where all the issues coming from. And if you got a problem with another black man, call that black man if it's within your power. If you don't like something the black man did, or you don't like what that black man failed to do, reach out to him first. Send him a text. Send him an email if you can't reach out to him. Call a medium or an unofficial liaison, such as Sinetta, and say, brother, can you get me in touch with that black man? Can you get me in touch with that black man? Because I have this issue with him, and I don't want to go public because actually my issue's with him. See, that's how we get this thing right. And then that's how we can have conversations before the public, because I understand the mindset that I'm dealing with when I start interfacing with that person in virtual reality. But a lot of us have virtual reality character traits. We got the person we are organically when we're sitting next to each other. And then we got the Facebook personality, Instagram personality, and YouTube personality. So right now, I'm presently communicating with a YouTube personality because there's no way that I'm communicating with the young brother that I sat next to who could possibly have found all these things wrong with me some weeks ago. In between that time that has collapsed between us being on the couch and present day with this slander, this backbiting, and this negativity. So that's what I got to say in closing, man. I give the brother his love, but I have to repeat that information because I hope something goes into his conscience where he says, you know what? That brother did befriend me, and I betrayed that black man. I took his kindness for weakness because this black man knew he was sitting next to somebody who disrespected him, and he still afforded me the opportunity to fellowship with him. And that black man, that is myself, gave him the highest level of respect that any black man could, knowing the black man he was sitting next to was already disrespectful. Only for you to do it again. Come on, Crow. You better than that. He'll get older and he'll get better.
All right. So with that, my brother, I thank you, Brother Polight, for getting on here, blessing the show, of course.
No doubt, man. Wish that brother my best.
And I'll be waiting for that video today. I've been asking for a week. This is Friday now.
I got you.
Hopefully I get it.
You.
Send over all the flyers or whatever you got to promote. Let me know what's up.
I got you, brother.
All right.
And he still got my vote against Tazaryach, man. He just got to, Tazaryach tricky, man. He's a tricky motherfucker, boy. they got an answer for every damn thing in that Bible. That might even make sense or not. You know what I'm talking about, son.
Yes, sir. So, you already know.
He gotta come with them angles, man, because those guys is trained in gibberish, boy.
All right.
So he just gotta control his emotions, man. If he do that, I think it'd be a walk in the park. I think he can beat that brother, man. He just falls. I think he can win in a competition against that brother if he keep his composure and he don't walk in thinking he's so smart. He ain't have to study or prepare. I hope he just study and prepare like. He like Tazaryach is probably the best person on planet Earth at what he does. That's don't underestimate your opponent. He need to act like he's dealing with the world's leading scholar. when it comes to whatever it is that they're going to be debating about. What are they debating about in the first place?
Well, they're going to be going. They got to come up with
just to make sure I'm not making a mistake.
Well, they're going to be dealing with the Bible and the subtitle. They're going to come up with it together.
Are they going to deal with Dr. Yuck?
Well, I mean, you can't put it past Captain Tazaryach. That's not going to come up. You know, he going to come in there and take a shot to see if that will unravel him. But I'm trying to work with the young brother and let him know this right here, this sport right here, you got to have tough skin. And once they see that they can break you, they gonna push your fucking buttons, man. They gonna push your buttons.
They may not even move on and deal with the subject at that point.
Right.
It's just be a matter of who didn't have the most emotion.
Right.
Well, you said the debate is about the Bible?
Well, it's going to be about the Bible, and it's going to be about other things. They got a subtitle that they both going to come up with and agree with.
Oh, that's good. Now, I wish both those brothers the best. Because I ain't in no position to be hating black people, man. Whether I agree with them or not. I wish them both the best. I hope they have a very responsible debate. Something that we can look back on and be proud in the manner in which they conduct themselves. I hope they don't do the nigga business and be cursing up a storm.
Oh, no, because there's going to be a penalty to pay. And they ain't going to do that. Not on my watch. It's going to be a penalty.
So, my brother.
It's going to be a penalty. And that's all.
You say it now.
Yeah, you know we always say this shit and then it get turned up. But
yeah,
no,
man.
It's going to be a penalty to pay. And I don't think these brothers want to get docked. You know, I don't think they want to get docked.
Oh, get they paid out?
Yeah, they don't want that because it's going down, and I'm gonna be loving it. They get docked, I'm gonna be loving it. I'm gonna sit back and say, "Yo, told you. You see the contract?
That's gonna be cool, man." How's the other young brother doing?
Who's that?
That's for the other debate.
Oh
How
man,
he doing? He good?
Yeah, young Pharaoh and all them brothers, they doing good.
Yeah.
They turning it
That's
up.
Good.
They turning it up.
That's good, man. That's good. That's good to hear, man. I'm sure they're gonna have a very progressive debate as well. Looking forward to that one too, man. That's gonna be nice.
If you're not in the building, just get the live stream, brother. That's all. You got.
Man, you know that. You know that. No matter what, we gotta support that. Feel me?
Yeah, you already know.
Yeah, man. Keep doing your job, my brother. You're doing great. You know, you're also a coach. So even though you putting on these events, man, you know, we've been through a lot together, brother. These people, they just started. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, and some of the people that have been around, they still got a lot to learn too about some of the nuances behind this whole situation. So you really a coach at the same time, man. You got to coach these brothers and let them know it's not about all the chaos, man. Just get your information up. You don't want to look back at the video and be disappointed in yourself like, damn, man, look how I carried on.
I already know. No, I already know. Trust me. I'm learning from the other ones, man. I already told Pharaoh, check it out. I told Pharaoh and I told Unc and Seti, December the 18th. I said, both of y'all, I love you, brothers, but on December the 18th, I'm nobody's friend. I'm nobody's friend. Polight. I told him that I'm nobody's friend.
I ain't complaining to you. Nothing.
Right. Don't come to me. Don't ask me, can I do this? I'm nobody's friend. I'm all y'all. I love both of y'all. But at this debate on the 18th, I'm nobody's friend, man. Sutek is going to run that shit, and he going to do it. I'm nobody's friend. I'm just there to make sure shit goes smooth.
Oh, man, you got Sutek in town.
Yeah, Sutek going to moderate that. So it is what it is. So with that, man, I'm going to say peace to you, Brother Polight, and the family. Say what's up to little my aunt. Peace. Love you, my aunt. Peace and black power, brother.
I'm glad, man. Give your wife and everybody my regards, man. Africa. I'll see you, everybody, man.
All right.
My love.
Peace. We out.
Peace, my brother. Keep up the good work.
I'm waiting on the video, bro. All right, Prince York, call your little ass in here, man. Let's go here. Come on, Prince. Where you at now, bro? All right, my brother Prince York, we are still live. We got 712 people in the building. First, let me say this to you, brother. I agree with some of the stuff the brother Polight was saying somewhat. He was giving you some good words of advice as well. I mean, let's be respectful. Let's be grown men. Let's try to let's not try to throw no more slander. Let's deal with some information. Of course, hold on. I know you was upset. The brother Phil, he was upset for you to come out here and slander him live. So let's try to bridge the gap now. If you was to do this thing different, do you think you should have called me to call him to make the connection?
No, because what you must understand is that Polight has, through the schools of Milwaukee, he has mastered levels of psychology and speech, which is good. He's mastered that to be able to grab the people's attention while you are addressing him on the topic and then swing the whole thing about Dr. York. I don't give a fuck if you mention my cause or not. I only brought it up to prove the contradiction in your works. What you stated is that Dr. York is your deity. When you're on the street, you're about to fight and put down your whole career behind fighting on Dr. York's name. But then when you have the opportunity to represent him, you don't. I don't care whether you do or don't. That's none of my business. I'm using that as a reference to show the people that you are a hypocrite. My point was, and the whole chat who's been here will remember, that my point was that he's scamming people. He's scamming people by giving them false information on how he's executing things. As far as being about black power, etc. But then he made the comments that he made about black people being dogs, about he can't live in the hood, about fuck his own community, about all these different things. So I'm calling Polight a cracker. I had nothing to do with Dr. York, but Polight did the same thing that he complains about with everybody in the debate forum. The moment you beat somebody intellectually, they bring up Dr. York, and that's exactly what Polight just did. I just pointed out how you are a coon, how you sit here and you slander the black community, how you poverty tip. The whole time he's on the phone, it's all braggadocious about the money I have, my multiple wives. First and foremost, if you want to get to know Prince York, just ask the question. Because, you know what I'm saying, Prince York, one, I'm married with 2 wives, I have a son, and we live a very happy, comfortable life. 2, I'm barely ever in the United States. I'm really mainly out here to teach. Call it what you want, you know what I'm saying? He wants to try to use my sister and try to get information, and my sister's still fucking Muslim. So how the fuck you brother Polight and my sister's Muslim? Like, so you're not even teaching your own wives. Please don't pull up. Let's not get into the laundry Polight, because you don't got enough fire to produce me. Now, when niggas try to do it, see, you always got to put a nigga down, bro. And he like to say the black man who's trying to attack another black man is a demon. No, the black man who attacks the coons, the virus in the community is the demon. The black man who's telling hundreds of thousands of people that he's about the community, but turns around and says, "No, I'm about the hip hop. The hip hop culture has converted me." That's the fucking coon. Now, Sinetta, as far as today, Sinetta knows. All
right. Hold on. Time out. Man, nah, don't put me. But listen. Listen. I love both of y'all brothers. But come on, man. Try to tone it down. Let's try to build. Hold on. I'm gonna let you finish. Let's try to build off the air. We ain't got to give them too much, goddamn. Because look, once this shit go out, you can't pull the words back. I mean, you came out first. You went off on the brother. You went crazy. Polight came back. He answered you. He went crazy. Now, let's see if we can fucking bridge the gap where we don't want it to make it. Listen, hold on.
You always want to say your promotion.
Hold on. No.
Let him get his ass whooped, man. Stop trying to fight for him, bro. And tell him he get his ass whooped. I'm not bridging no goddamn gap with this nigga when he's robbing a conscious community. When niggas is paying $30, $25 to come listen to this nigga debate doctrine that he don't even represent. I don't have to do shit with this. I don't give a fuck. I'm addressing you as a man to a man. Fuck the nation, forget the community for 5 seconds, and let's talk about man to a man. As a leader to a leader. You want to talk about works? What works? Every work that you mentioned is working for you. We haven't seen not one thing progressive to the nation. You want to talk about Prince York works? I I've been over to Africa, assisted with setting up communities over there, made the building a connection with the Liberian government, made the building a connection with the Ghanaian government, made the building connection with the United States government on behalf of my nation to represent my people. And when I came inside that platform, I didn't come up here to fucking debate. I was always about not debating. I thought Sinetta was the first person that asked me that I wanted to debate. And Sinetta knows for fact that prior to me saying anything I'm saying now, I told Sinetta the day he was live on the air, I was sitting on Sinetta's couch. I said, this nigga's a coon and he's done to me. I'm not your brother. You're a coon. You are disrespectful to the entire black nation. Why am I yelling? Because I am upset. Because people put belief, faith, and energy into you. And what do? You become a wealthy, a module. Now we're talking about Hollywood, but we're still not addressing the problems of the black community. Polight is perfect at telling us the psychological and social problems of the black nation. He's perfect at telling us that the black man is being oppressed by the white man. But he damn sure won't put a solution on the table. Show me the land. That's all it's about. It's about this land. It's about going to Africa. Show me the physics. I don't give a damn who you met. Whether it be Bobby Bennett, all in long and Bobby. I don't give a damn who you met. I can go down niggas I met. Nigga, these niggas are the fucking baby, nigga. I'm talking about the work. What is the progress to the black community? What group of black people, whether it be your nation or another nation, can say, I benefited bitch from Brother Polight more than just information? Because liberation of the mind, as Dr. Tazaryach stated, is the first step. Liberation of the woman is the second step. Liberation of the nation is the third step. So if you liberate the mind and you claim that you liberated the woman, then where is the liberation of the nation? The only nation you've liberated is yourself. I don't care where you got your money from. I don't care about your story. Stop addressing other niggas to me who come at you about your money. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
All right, now, Prince, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, brother. Now, when you go hard on the other brothers, when you can go hard at Tazaryach, Polight, Pharaoh, the Army Raw Squad, and then they come back and shoot shots at you, how can you get upset when you open up the door for them to come at you and your pops? Because, hold on, let me finish. Because once you open up that door and you banging on somebody, you can't tell them how to fight back. So if they choose to go at your pops, you can't say, oh, no, don't talk about my father. Why do you defend that so much?
Sinetta, check this out.
Go ahead.
The day I met you, I was walking down the street. You met my wife. You met one of my wives.
Yes.
The day I met you, I was walking down the street with my wife, and I was walking down the street with my bodyguard, the same one that came to the second video we did with Brother Malik Interrupter, right?
Correct.
I didn't know who Sinetta TV was. I barely knew who Polight was. All I knew is what I've experienced with him, what I've heard, and debates and stuff that I was told of Polight here, but I never seen him. Only time I think Polight was when he was on the stage in D.C. prior to this, right? Polight's the one who proclaimed Dr. York his biological father when he first came out. Polight's the one who proclaimed Dr. York his God, his Most High, his deity. All I simply said about Dr. York was, if you're saying that, see, if you're going to say Dr. York is a child molester, then you're going to say that every day, all day, until it's proven to you that it's not that. If you're going to say Dr. York is a God, you're going to say that all day, every day. You don't say it's not my responsibility. I didn't say it was. You said it's your responsibility as his children, yet you claim to be his child. What are you talking about? You allowed a man to name your daughter. I don't care about the relationship between you and Dr. York. I'm talking about the relationship with you and the people. Two men's relationship don't mean nothing to me. Friend, soul, teacher, student, father, son doesn't mean anything to me. I'm talking about what have you done for the people? And Sinetta is my witness. When I first got on the channel, the first question he asked me, he said, look, man, before I get on the channel, he said, I'm going to ask you some questions about Dr. York. Are you comfortable with that? And I said, well, sir, if I was on the channel, I'd rather just teach the people. I don't really want to have to defend my father. He said, bro, you're going to have to study the channel.
That's right.
Is that what you said?
That's right. That's right.
So I went and I studied. And when I studied, I saw everything Polight had been doing. Nigga, I didn't fucking know. I was in Ghana. We got pictures of me there. I was traveling across the world. I was handling business. I was studying. I was in Brooklyn, like you said. I was back and forth from tabernacle to tabernacle, making a name for myself. Out here teaching, propagating.
But listen, brother. Hold on, but check it out. When I'm trying to tell you that this right here can get real ugly. Because listen, both of you have inside information. So what I'm trying to tell you right now is that we're going to have to find out how we can have this discussion off the air. Both of y'all let out a lot of shit. But this shit, hold on, man. This can get real fucking ugly. Polight have a lot of information. You have tons of information. And the only one that's going to be hurt by it is the new Wapian Nation. And then you're going to have, listen to me, you're going to have the niggas that hate the new Wapians. That's going to be on the outside applauding both of you. Tear this shit down. All of y'all, go ahead and tear this shit up. So I'm trying to tell you now, y'all both came out and y'all trashed each other. Now I'm trying to tell you, let's get together off the air.
I agree with that.
All right, so that's it. So that's it. That's it.
No, Sonny, I agree with you.
Go ahead.
I agree with you, but I feel that it's only fair and it's only equal that I get a fair opportunity to respond the same way he got the fair opportunity to respond.
But you did, brother. Hold on, you did. Hold on, you responded earlier. You went first.
I went first.
Right.
If I had a brother Polight responding, he had the opportunity to be on the phone with me and address the things I'm saying in real time. He told me, he said, oh, the brother disrespectful. Sanetta knows the fact that we already talked about the debate between me and Polight before this video when he considered it our respectful meeting. At the same time, in the same video that we're on right now, he said the brother threw download the shots at me. So I threw shots at you from the beginning. He said, I was talking about you in the past. So you already know what it was. I told Sanetta behind off screen, I said, let me debate him. He told me no then. Sanetta said no, but the brother Polight said, you want to debate you. So don't make it like I'm disrespectful. Nigga, you running. Nigga, it took you 15 minutes to get on the phone. And you got long-winded about your entire life story and your beautiful wife, and your beautiful daughter, and your beautiful family. And I respect all of that as a man. But what I cannot respect is poverty pimping from the people who don't have that much money, who spend their last $30 to get some information to hear you talk about something. You know what I mean? And then you come out and you teaching bullshit because you're not building off of it. Show us the true black nation. The way Dr. York did. If you perceive him, if he is your leader, that's all I'm saying. Like you said, Prince York is young. I think Brother Polight got 4 years on me. At max, 4 or 5 years on me. But he said Prince York is young. Cool, say that. Say Prince York is young. Okay, I'll take that. But young doing more than what you did. Because my goals is on the table. You're talking about traveling around the world. I didn't come on, I was already on tour before I came on Saturday TV. Saturday witness to that. So I didn't have seen my diplomatic ID issued by the State Department. He's seen it. Am I lying inside that?
Yeah, but let me say this to you, Prince. I know this for sure. If I could say anything about Polight, I know this for sure that he was holding back, brother. He was really not trying to unleash on you. Polight was holding the fuck back. He just was trying to address some of the stuff. But now this is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm going to have to end the show. I'm going to call you later on in a few minutes because I got to go take care of something. So I'm going to get back to you, brother. By no means am I trying to cut your wisdom. We're going to continue this build. I got mad love for you, and we're going to be doing something. Nah, brother, listen, man.
You make it hard for me to be able to respect you if you won't allow me to respond. This man called me a child. This man said I don't have a family.
Hold on, man. You telling me that I didn't allow you to respond? I'm trying to tell you right now. Listen. I'm trying to tell you right now that I have to take care of something before the wifey come home. I got to do this. You know, I never really planned to be this long, but like I said, I got you.
It seems to me that you're constantly protecting Polight.
Oh, man. Hold on. I'm not trying to protect him, brother. Bro, you went in. How the fuck am I trying to protect him? You went the fuck in. Trust me, you went the fuck off. You went in. So I'm not trying. If I was trying to protect him, I would have cut you from the beginning. Polight is a grown-ass man, and he knows how to handle this shit.
And I'm another grown-ass man.
And you are too.
I have a family. Polight has businesses. I have businesses. So you're going to respect me as such, and let's talk about the topic that matters, not other topics that matter. All right. Let's talk about the topic matter. And you know what? Discuss it. Handle your business with your wife and your family. You know I got much respect. Send a blessing to the whole family.
And yo.
Polight, this is not over here.
Okay. I'm all right. I'm gonna make sure we deal with that. All right. So listen, Polight. Listen, Prince. You hear me?
Yeah.
And I'm saying it on air. See, I'm going to give you another jewel from an elder that got wisdom. Whatever you do, don't go on these motherfuckers' platform and do what you do. Because this is what they going to want you to do. Don't let these fucking hating niggas call you and, yo, brother, you can come on my show and you can air it. No, don't do it. Trust me. I know what I'm talking about. Because once you put it out there, ain't no pulling it back. So just be patient. We're going to deal with this shit. You hear me?